If you love golf and you love playing competitive golf, these things are again, blessings. Just thank you to whoever invites me. It's an awesome weekend, but at the center of it all is like true competition. And look, we love golf, right? You play golf right now, and I know you got your skins game and your buddy matches, and maybe you even play, some men's events here and there. But I'm talking about like true grind competition, play every ball as it lies, putt everything through the hole, lots of consequence at stake. I mean, I love these 2 or 3 or sometimes 4 times a year that I get to play in these. I love them for a variety of reasons. One, I'm always at the hip with a really good friend. Sometimes they've started as business acquaintances or otherwise, but every partner that I play these member guests with, I go away for a weekend with their partner anytime. So that part of it's fun, but it's that competitive part, E.T., that quite frankly, at this stage, you just don't get to call upon very often.
We ain't going to West Connect and running up and down the court no more.
That's right. You're right. And that would fuel it.
Right.
Yeah, running hoops or, I don't know what it is. I don't know where y'all find your competitive outlets if they're important to you. And I also understand that there are more of you than not that just are sports fans. You never played a lot of sports growing up, and that's cool too, for whatever the reasons are. I can't sing a lick or play an instrument, but I like music. There's thousands that are in that, categories. Well, you ain't got to play in the school band, I guess, to enjoy the radio. But if you have at some point, and for some of you, it's not that far in the rearview mirror. I know there's a bunch of 20-something 6-o'clockers running around getting going. It felt like yesterday, somebody's putting a crown on you at some high school field somewhere. I get all that. But trust me on this. The further you extend from like your real competition, for some it ends in Little League, and others high school, college. We got a lot of former pro athletes listening to the show right now as we speak. But the further you get away, when you're able to really, and I can see why so many of these athletes E.T. do, and it seems silly to us. Like a guy who's been, the top of his field in something, suddenly he wants to play golf. Or he wants to be a pickleball player.
Because they got that competitive, that thing in their mind.
Right, that's got to get
satisfied. Yeah,
it's more than their bankroll and their, and their W-2s. You got to, if you can find a way. And so I get it. That river run that, for me was a lost bet for so many folks that did it. That's their competition. They run all year to see if they can be better and faster than they were a year ago. So anyway, I guess it's my golf version of the River Run or the World Series or anything else. So looking forward to guiding through this morning with y'all, talking some sports, lots of stuff to talk about. And understand, I got one eye on the first tee today, 155 ET.
Ooh.
155, afternoon tee time.
And I know you about to be clean, too. Ooh, I know the boy's about to be clean.
Yeah, you'll like it. It's good. It's good fashion day for you.
Yeah.
The boys out at the Quan, they love them some ET now. Don't kid yourself. Oh, yeah. 100,000% on that. So, does golf need Jordan Spieth to do something? Will that help golf at all? I saw yesterday that the PGA Tour, after all of this hand-holding with the coming merger, now something has happened and they haven't accepted the deal from the Saudis. And I don't know, they're not back to square one, but they're not like on the verge of some unification project here. And so it leaves you, as long as you're left with it. Now, look, the LIV is full of Jordan Spieth, right? Which is, that wasn't a terrible thing when you're trying to gain traction and trying to gain, a following. But, the Koepkas and Dustin Johnsons and Phil Mickelsons, they all feel like they're former somethings. I mean, nobody feels like they're anywhere near their best golf. Shoot, I've read Dustin Johnson articles in the last, a couple of months where he just admits what it is. Just allowed him the freedom to go be Paulina's husband. And coaching, I saw Dustin Johnson's coaching his little league team, his kids' little league team. You think he's doing that on the PGA Tour? Short answer, no way. Anywho, back to the point. Spieth flashed yesterday at the Texas Open. Those Texans always seem to play good in Texas. I guess it makes sense. You're used to, the course types and the winds and there's an old, do you know what the phrase, a Texas wedge means, E?
No.
Texas wedge. You'll hear that. A Texas wedge is when you use your putter from off the green, Like if you're in the fringe, or say you got to roll it up the fringe, 8 or 10 feet before the ball keeps rolling on the green. That's called a Texas wedge, and it originated, the phrase did, because in Texas, boy, those winds will blow in the summertime, and they don't want to get the ball off the ground at all, even around the green. So they putt it.
Putt it.
Yeah, if you ever hear anyone, a Texas wedge is a putter from off the green.
Got you.
There we go. See what I'm talking about with the open forum game?
Yeah.
You see what's happening here. So, E.T., I'm giving you today carte blanche for any and all the questions that you have about this and that or the other, because sometimes the questions come to me, particular about other sports, that to me, I would just assume, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, correct.
There's no such thing as a dumb question.
No, man. Curiosity is one of God's great gifts, dude.
Get me right.
If it's used right? If it leads to wisdom, huh? We'll put it that way. All right, back to the grind that is draft season, right? We got a bunch of seasons when it comes to football and our Jags. We got the preseason. We got the regular season. Hopefully every blue moon we get a postseason. And then there is an off season, but like mock draft season is almost a thing. All the drama has been taken out of our mock draft season. It's hard to find a scenario anywhere that Mason Graham is the pick at 5. We won't belabor that point again to start the show today. And yesterday we looked at the value of, what you can do with that 36th pick. That's still really, really, really good value. And when we looked at mock drafts yesterday, some of those positions of need that the Jaguars are stressing, they're all represented there. So there's a variety of options you're going to be able to go at 36 with a really, really good player. You ought to get impact out of your first 2 picks this year. Because of the talent of the positions you need and where you are selecting, you're getting 2 of the top 36 players available. They need to be all rookie players. I need to see something from, this next generation right off the bat. Because what we've done this offseason, I don't think really adds much to the win total. And then there's this, and that's the point that I was going to start with before my mind fluttered to Open Forum Friday. And that is this. E.T., I'm going to ask you a question. I'll be the question asker. How about that?
All right.
If you made your predictions right now for next year's NFL season, you know how we do it?
Yep.
Right before season starts, we pick the division winners, we pick the playoffs, we pick the Super Bowl.
Yep.
If you picked them right now, how different, if at all, do you think it would be if you picked it in mid-August? You think it'd be real different?
No.
I don't think it would either. I really don't. I think if we pick the divisions right now in the playoffs, I think we're going to land on about the same thing. And here's why. Here's the reason. Here's the reality for a 4-13 football team. Odds that any rookie joining your team right now,
making that type of impact,
impacting your win total. Now it can happen. I'm not saying it won't, and they can play a part maybe in whatever win total you were going to get to. But while we grind on the draft and we track the mock drafts, understand the majority of what you are and where you stand in the NFL, majority of that, the majority of your hope for next season comes from the roster that you retain and the free agents that you sign. That's the majority. Now, see, here's what happens. As you get good and you make the right decisions in those areas, these draft picks don't have to flash right away, and so they become a part of your retained roster, and ultimately you lift that floor, and hopefully one day the ceiling. My gosh, 30 years, it's we're overdue. I saw a photo. Now, I don't know if this is a social media photo. I'm on, text chains that Tony's on. I saw a photo of the. I'm gonna show it to you. You tell me. This is probably take the short-ish walk in here. Open forum gang. Just settle down. Just look at them, huh? Look at the new band. Now they're hanging out. Okay, so it's social media. Yeah. It's Tony and Angie, and then Liam Cohen and James Gladstone and their wives. Look at them. Is that canary feathers coming out the corner of their mouths there? Look at them happy. This is the before picture, baby.
Yeah.
This is
big
the
happy family.
Man, they're happy. Look at them. Tony, I see what you did, by the way, joining and hiring these young guys. You're trying to feel young is what you're doing. Huh?
Yeah.
Tony's tired of hanging around with us old guys. Huh?
You keep young folks around you,
right.
You're feeling young.
Yeah, I'm not going to hang out with a guy 6 years older than me. I'm going to hang out with a guy 8, 10 years younger than me. Yeah, good move. I tell you what, it's a handsome group.
Right? They are great spots.
Yeah, it's a beautiful picture, man. Huh? That's how they're living down at the Breakers this week, huh? I don't see any contracts of free agents in tow there, no, but I bet you the steak was good, boy. And the wine there. So anyone can see that. Just search out the picture then. It's a shame that your favorite team plays out west because you don't ever get to see them actually play. But that last night was an NBA game worth watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Warriors and the Lakers played last night. And look, when you have a game there's something going on in the NBA right now, okay? And it's this. The starting five that they will use if everyone is healthy in Golden State is 13-0 right now since the Jimmy Butler trade.
Wow.
With Jimmy Butler in the lineup alone, it's a good number. And with him and Steph Curry, just as long as it's those two, it's a really good number. But with the five that they want to designate, they're 13-0 when those guys play. And that includes a win last night at the Lakers. Man, you want to talk about just two old war horses that they're just refusing to slow down. It's LeBron James and Steph Curry, man. And what these guys are doing, what are we doing?
Like we always talk about LeBron, 40. Steph is 37.
That's correct.
You know what I'm saying?
And he doesn't have the that bull in him. Forget the dog. He got that dog in him. He ain't got that bull. He can't, if all else fails, just put his head down and drive to the rack.
Right.
And by the way, he doesn't need to. But Golden State beat the Lakers last night, and the Warriors, since getting Jimmy Butler, they have just taken off. They've gone from play-in status to working their way up the board. They're 45-31, now just one game behind the Lakers. I wanted that 4-5 matchup between the Mavs and the Lakers, and then Kyrie got hurt, and that's kind of fizzled out here. So Warriors-Lakers round one would be a good one, wouldn't it?
It would.
Oof.
Man.
That's a legend going home early.
I got to go.
So LeBron in the loss goes for 33, 9 assists. I mean, and by the way, Giannis had a historic night last night. 37 points, 20 assists, and 17 rebounds.
Sheesh.
A stat line never reached, not even by Wilt. Yeah, right? Sheesh?
Good. That's almost Shazamish.
It is Shazamish. It's just, and we're not even talking about him last night. We're talking about this matchup between these two aging superstars, or should I say ageless. Steph last night, 37 points, 6 assists. So I got 33 and 9 from LeBron, 37 and 6 from Steph, and they're 40. I mean, in golf, there's this thing shooting your age, right? Age shooters, you call it. As you get older, you try and, when you get to be 83, if you can shoot 81, you shoot your age. These dudes shoot their age, and in basketball, it's not supposed to work that way. 40, get 40. 37, get 37. It's literally what they did last night. Well, not LeBron, at least not quite. And meanwhile, here you are, you're facing the Nuggets, and with Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry and Draymond Green still, a very good nucleus, and you got this guy, Brandon Podziemski. Have you seen this cat?
I seen him last night.
Little lefty,
Yeah.
The lefty redheaded. I don't know where he's from.
He's getting buckets.
Some part of Eastern Europe, I guess. 8 of 10 from 3 last night for that guy. And away we go. All right, off and going. We'll circle back to, that draft and our expectations and what we think. We better hope that Trevor's ready to take off and that the game plan and playbook alone is going to add some increased victories, because while the draft certainly helps build you and makes you can make you a verifiable contender in 26 and 27, if we're expecting some 3-win jump from who we take in this year's draft, I think we're probably being misled to that end. So Captain Kev is next. I'm excited today. Looking forward to a fun day, both here and abroad. ET is in the house. Dan Hicken loves golf enough that he's flown all the way out to Arizona, where he's on one of those golf trips. Those are also fun as well. I'll expound on that. I make this plea, ET, every year to the Googans that are out there when we get to about March, April, springtime. Do a golf trip, gang. And you ain't got to do some thousands of dollars and get on a plane and go off. I don't care what. I've been taking golf trips since I made $20,000 a year. Find a way. Make it a drivable somewhere in Orlando or Palm Coast or around the First Coast, and get somewhere. Get away with your guys, man, and play golf for a weekend. Play 54 holes in 2 or 3 days, and make it a part of your year every year. The bonding, the golf, might have a beer or two. Anywho, Captain Kev, all he does is fish. I bet he's been on a golf trip at some point. Does a lot of fishing trips, so we'll see how they're biting when we return. It's a GFL Friday on The Drill.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios, here's another classic Florida Gator moment.
We got 30 minutes for the rest of our life. 30 minutes. We're going to hit somebody, and we're taking it down the field for a touchdown. I guarantee you that. Let's go. Let's go.
1010XL, home of the Florida Gators.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Hey y'all, I'm Hannah with the Deck Guys. We've been locally owned and operated for over 10 years in the outdoor living space. If you are looking to get spring projects started, like a new deck, pavers installed, or maybe a pergola, we would love to earn your business. Just remember,
call the Deck Guys if you want a brand new deck, pavers, or more. Call 904-813-2474.
thedeckguysjacks.com.
Man, jack of all trades, masters of none? It just feels like at every turn nowadays, every company can do all work. Not us. Hi, Stevie Beatros here, second-generation plumber right here in Jacksonville, Florida. We are your master plumbing company that only focuses on all your plumbing needs. So for your next plumbing job, don't call another Jack. Call Beatros Plumbing, where plumbing is what we do, and plumbing is what we're great at. Beatros Plumbing, here to help.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Prize, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it," and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Offices in Jacksonville. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's attorneys. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Rick Julius, licensed in Pennsylvania only. Online at CordellCordell.com.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more reliability and versatility built in, like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors to get the job done right, Z Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Visit Coastal Equipment for a demo today.
Greater power for the great outdoors. Coastal Equipment.
Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road and in McClenny.
You know the players, so you pick them.
How many majors can the guy win?
It's fantasy golf at the Masters. Win $1,000 of jewelry from Beard's Diamonds.
Enter at 1010XL.com.
Teed up by Pella Windows and Doors.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com. and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
With so many competitive pest services in town, you might wonder why Kingfish Pest Control's business is booming while similar companies seem to be struggling. It all comes down to service, affordability, and effectiveness. Kingfish Pest Control is a local family-owned company who delivers on their promises to effectively control pests like ants, spiders, roaches, termites, mosquitoes, and more. Your home is their priority, so call today and discover why your neighbors and your buddy Hayes Carlion trust Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Kuhn Flowers floral or plant arrangement. This is JJ with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Kuhn Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at KuhnFlowers.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys Locksmith Service.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, Captain Kevin Favors Fishing Report. Brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. You dream it, we build it. On 1010XL.
Oh, having a hoedown. Open Forum Friday right here on the drill. We got lots of good stuff
Get
cooking.
on the man, don't get
They're
on
hitting me
the
up.
go,
Hey,
go.
go,
that
go,
hole.
yeah. Cotton Eye Joe, is that what this is?
I don't know, it sounds like it.
Doesn't it? We're going to circle back to this because I'm going to bring in Captain Kev. It's his turn. But the hunt takes on a little extra interest to me this year. The Hunt is the show that the Jags produce behind the scenes. You get to go into the Baselli house. You get a good view of Tony grumbling and grousing about having to do the dishes, those kinds of things. Check out The Hunt. We haven't watched it yet, but we're going to pull some clips. We'll have fun with that a little bit later this morning. All right. I'm going to start. Before I get the fishing report, how do I get this thing going here? Good gracious. Would you activate? I got it. Morning, Kev.
We haven't been doing this long enough.
How are we doing? No, the problem is that the way this thing is set up now, I got to move the mouse, the cursor from one screen to the next, and sometimes it doesn't.
I know. Trust me.
Yeah.
I'll be there in the morning.
And then you get blocked. It gets blocked by the one in front of you. There's a lot going on here. Thank you, friend. You understand.
I do.
We'll have a bait bet next week, so let's keep that in mind. We got the Masters a week away.
That's right. That's right.
And before we get into the local fishing, and we've talked about what an awesome time of year this is, did you see the situation down there in Siesta Key with this fish captain, this charter captain?
Yeah.
Do you know that guy or of him?
No.
Well, you should, Kev. You should, because he's the best charter captain in the world.
Right.
He screamed at the poor kid. What happened there? Take us through. Do you know the story? You want to take us through it, or should I set up the story? And then
I mean, you can set it up.
Bottom line, there's a kid or maybe a couple, and they're fishing. They're underneath a bridge, just if you were underneath the Lions Bridge, the Bridge of Lions, just something like that. One of those deals. And you missed the part that came through, but a charter captain had come through with his deal, and then picks up the argument, picks up the story where those two are arguing. The charter captain is just losing his mind, and the 21-year-old thinks that he's come through the bridge too fast, and then they're going back and forth. But bottom line, the charter captain loses his mind. He starts screaming. He boards the dude's boat, and now the feds are involved, and it's like one guy said, man, listen. That's another world out here in the world of the outdoors. There's some people, you step a foot on their boat, they're liable to shoot your butt.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. So
No. I mean,
no, it's crazy. Unhinged.
Yeah, you just don't. I mean, first off, you let it go.
Yeah, sure.
And my gosh, to go off like that is just. You guys got problems. Okay,
right?
Let's face it. No.
That can't be his first run in if you're acting like that.
I mean, we were talking about this on the forecast show last night. I was talking to Captain Corey Sparks. He's like, he said when we're on the water, obviously we're responsible first off for our customers, but the other thing is we're responsible to make sure that everybody else is being responsible, and we act in a way that look, if we need to help people, we do. Are we sitting there on the intercoastal and some jackass come by and wake us and And yes, it happens all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And under your breath, you're like, sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't do this.
It's the equivalent of if you're being held up on the golf course, yes, it's frustrating. You don't start rifling balls into the group.
Exactly.
That's kind of the,
Exactly. You know what I mean? There's just certain things. And, again, what he's talking about are red and green lights of not turning them on. And you're going to go off like that because somebody has a red and green light off? Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was that. But then going so far as to physically confront the guy and hop on his boat. And so what is, do you know the penalty? I mean, that's something you would never do. I mean,
I have no idea.
I wonder.
I'm going to be interested in doing the outdoor show tomorrow and making some phone calls today to some of my police officers that I know because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the law is. I mean, there was I guess it was last year. There was a charter captain on a boat, and I don't know if you remember this, but one of the customers hit the throttle while he was back putting baits out.
He went overboard.
Almost. He went into the motor.
Oh my God.
And just cowling, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And was able to get up and grab the throttle. And my God, he went.
He went off. Yeah.
But I can see where.
God, that would make for an awkward rest of the trip, man. That is not a good day, man. And if you're the guy, you almost know that you deserve to be yelled at. And if you're the captain now, you've already shown your A, and there's no coming back. Oh, that's a bad day.
Right.
That's bad. Have you? What's the most? And you're not a confrontational dude. You're laid back, like you said. But have you seen anything anywhere near that? Probably that kind of stuff is most likely to happen in the tournaments, right? Where people's tensions are higher and they've got deadlines and lines.
I'll tell you when I've seen it, and during the mullet run, when all the tarpon and the reds, that they're all going down the jetties, and there's literally hundreds of fish. Well, there's also 50 boats, bow to stern, trying to get in there, and it's. I've absolutely seen people come to fisticuff by bumping into the boats and it can. That's the worst I've ever seen. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And I've seen the tournament thing where people flip you off.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But
correct.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But nothing like that, man.
Yeah, well, I will say that it can't be good for business. That's the crazy guy. I'm not going out with him. But hey, listen, he's got to be very entrenched down there because he did. You don't throw around "I'm the GOAT" without having at least some sort of evidence, I would think. So. Yeah, going to be bad for business for our boy, I think. He's going to be sailing off into the sunset in the west coast of Florida. Yeah. All right, now, fishing around here, we talked last week, and the weather now, the air temp is going up, and we're just, what are we, right in the sweet spot? What's going on?
Okay, I got good news and I got really bad news.
Okay.
So the good news is there were cobia on the beach this week, and there were some fish caught, and there was pogies on the beach. I had a couple good days of red fishing, black drum, in the ditch, and I could go on and on. I mean, the fishing. The worst part is that we're getting ready to just have terrible weather for a while. I I see 10 days out, so it's going to be blowing southeast hard starting this afternoon. I don't see anybody getting off the beach. Maybe Monday, but even that's southwest at 15 to 20.
You hit something. You hit such an important point here, Kev.
Yep.
Because you said the weather is going to be so rough, and immediately what comes to mind for people is rain and rain associated wind. But if you're talking about fishing. And y'all that are experienced, that's part of it. Yep. But it's not, just because it's sunny, it might be a terrible day to fish because of weather and it's those winds. And by the way, another subtlety, the direction from which they're coming. No,
absolutely.
Yeah,
yeah, no question. But I was getting ready to go into. You were talking about, obviously golfing. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a little windy.
Yeah,
but you're talking about beautiful temperatures. To do a lot, next week. But unfortunately, it's gonna. I think
windy.
it's gonna blow. It's gonna blow our fish.
What does I couldn't be more opposite from you when it comes to the weather. I never look at it unless I'm like got something going on the next morning or day. I'll look at it. But what are the temperatures? Are we up here in these high 80s for a while, or are we going to get a little bit of a?
No. We've got a cold front coming through.
Nice. What's the highs going to be?
60s.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Perfect weather report for me, Kev.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Yes.
Outdoor show tomorrow?
Outdoor show tomorrow.
So what are we doing right now? So we're just staying. I mean, somebody's going to fish tomorrow, so tell them what to do, even if the winds are blowing. Or
Just go in the river.
Yeah.
Go in the ditch. In the intercoastal. The fishing's phenomenal, and if you want to take the kids out, take them. Because there's a lot of jacks and a lot of ladyfish.
Nice, yeah. And, rod benders, we call, right?
Yeah. But we are live at Standard Feed and Seed tomorrow. So come see us. We're gonna have food. We're gonna have all kinds of stuff, raffles. It'll be a lot of fun.
E, what are you doing a week from Saturday? Where are you at? You in town? You around?
I think so.
You got Gritty in town with you?
Oh yeah, I'm taking Gritty back.
Oh, that's Saturday.
It's April 12th.
Well, is that what it would be? Yeah. We're going surf fishing here in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. Now's the perfect. If I'm going to take it, it's going to be now. Kev, those winds, that's enough to even make surf fishing annoying, though. No.
Oh, I think that the surface is going to be terrible.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about going today or this weekend. Even,
No.
Here, you want to know a really dumb question? E, let me ask a question like the kind you ask me.
Okay.
About sports. Like to me, like you ask me questions that you think are dumb questions. I don't think they're dumb questions at all. I just answer them. This is really dumb. You ready, E? I'm really going dumb here. Kev, you're going to go, oh, my God, you guys will make fun of me tomorrow. When you say northeast winds or southeast winds or northwest winds or east winds, does that mean the direction that they're blowing or the direction they're coming from?
They're coming from.
That's what I thought.
Hey, that's fair.
Yeah, I would have got it right.
That's a fair question. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, there you go, Kate. Googans, who didn't know, there you go. You're welcome. I've done that for you.
And before I go, my greatest golf outing, Scotland.
Yeah, see, you've done golf trips.
Yes, absolutely.
I've been, you know what? I'm going to end with this from the text line after I talk. What I did earlier, and we'll do it. It's open forum Friday, Kev. We're living crazy today.
I like it.
And I'm suggesting to everyone out there. I don't care how much. I don't care if you make $20,000 a year or $200,000 a year.
Right.
Get a group of guys and do a golf trip. As few as 4, as many as 12 or 16. And you could. And I'm not saying you got to go fly off to Scotland like Kevin did. You can find yourself here.
Let me give you a suggestion real quick.
Yeah.
There is a golf course near my place in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Little Okmulgee Golf Course, and it's $50. Okay, around, and I'm telling you, the golf course looks like Augusta. The hills and
I trust you. You know golf. You're not just
and there's little cabins. There, it's all state owned.
You could do the whole. With Kevin's point, you could play 4 rounds of golf and do the whole weekend for $400.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
it's phenomenal,
and it'll be your favorite weekend of the year, I bet.
Yeah.
Especially.
By the way, there's nobody that plays there.
Well, that's also a good thing on a golf trip. So I'm pumping up the golf trip. Maybe we should start a golf trip consulting business.
Hey,
just set it up for the boys.
You might have something there.
Yeah, we'll do the show. Then we'll do a podcast. The podcast. We'll do the golf trip podcast. Huh? Anyway, Kev, have a great weekend. Outdoor show tomorrow. Hey, I got a question for you, by the way. Ask the boys on the outdoor show about somebody sent in that Trey Hendrickson was in town, the Bengals defensive end, fishing at some point this week. So
okay, I did get a weird text and by the way, I was listening.
Was that a weird text from me? Is that the one you're talking about, or from someone else after that?
No, from you.
Yeah, that's why that was on the text line. I didn't want to just go full throttle on it without asking you first. So there we have it.
I'll find out.
All right, my buddy. See ya. There he goes. That's Captain Kev. Listen to the outdoor show tomorrow. From the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Amen, JP, on the golf trip. We do ours at Reunion Resort. That's in Orlando, and it's in capital letters, super affordable.
Okay.
Yeah, if you do it at the right time, and especially when you're young, fight those dog days of summer. You can go down to Central Florida, Reunion, or Grand Cypress, or there's a whole ton of them. You can do whole weeks, bunking up in a condo with a dude or 3 dudes. Unlimited golf. You could probably still do the whole thing for, if you shop it and do it right, $300-400, which is not pennies, but where else you spending it?
Hey Jeff, you ever heard of disc golf?
Yeah.
I
never played it.
Okay.
I think there was at one point, I don't know if it's still there, but when they closed down the Dunes golf course way back in the day, they made a disc golf course out there. Do you know where that is? I don't know what that's called now. It's now called, is it the Ed Austin Park maybe? I don't know what it's called. The one out there by Hidden Hills, between Hidden Hills and, oh gosh, I still call it Mill Cove. What's that golf course over there on Monument?
Blue Sky?
Blue Sky. It's like, it would be like across, it would be west of Blue Sky, like across Monument. Back in those, there's a golf course that's now a park back in there, but I think they have a disc golf layout there. I mean, it looks fun enough. It would be super fun if you were like into Frisbee and stuff. I've never been a Frisbee guy. I mean, I'm not opposed to going to the beach and throwing it around a little bit, but you know, I wasn't that guy, you know, in school throwing it around on the university lawn. But it looks fun. Look, there's a lot of those things that look cool, like pickleball. You know, there's a lot of these offshoot things. Yeah. There'd be a fun. I bet you this. I bet you if you went, to your point, I bet you if you went with your buddies on, you know, one Saturday and did a round of disc golf, it wouldn't, you know, it'd be like going to play a putt or, you know, anything else, anything that's a little bit. It is the Ed Austin Park, they're telling me. Yeah, and yes, the disc course is still there, and apparently there's one also at Trinity School. Orange Park Country Club now has one. This text line is active, man.
Shout out to the boys.
How many, like, people ask me what the ratings are. Should I just tell them 1 million?
Yeah, shout out to the boys.
It's like 1 million. Like, if they say, how many people listen to y'all show in the morning, should I say, how many people live here?
We're back. How many people listen to your show, Jacksonville?
Let's see. Hendrickson's building a house here, someone's saying. What are we doing, man?
Goodness, the text line active.
Fiddler's Green's got a disc golf. I love y'all, man. What a job. You're so lucky, bro. You're so lucky. Forum Friday so far is a big hit. This is The Drill.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Hello, you're on the air. There's more to 1010XL than radio. 1010XL is multimedia.
All communication lines are clear.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Find 1010XL on your social channels.
Plumbing problem? AC acting up? Septic tank trouble? Don't waste time calling 3 different companies. Just call Duck Rooter. We offer plumbing, septic, and air conditioning services, making it easy for you to work with one trusted company and one simple build. Every department has highly skilled experts trained for the job. For fast, reliable service from a company that does it all the right way, call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com.
Jags fans, here's your chance to score a trip to Green Bay for round 1 of draft night. Through the Everbank Draft Night Experience Sweepstakes, one lucky winner and a guest will be there live and in person to see the Jaguars make their first pick. To enter, visit everbank.com/draft by April 4th. That's everbank.com/draft. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 3/3/25 to 4/4/25. For official rules, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/draft. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank N.A.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too. From Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
If you're heading to the Aug or you're already part of the nation's oldest, don't forget to drop into Sunset Grill. For over 30 years, serving up great chowder, seafood, wings, and cold beer. Sunset Grill, somewhere on A1A, St. Augustine Beach.
Legends are made and history is written at Augusta.
It's been one of the greatest days in Masters history.
Catch Masters updates on 1010XL, served up by St. John's Middle School Athletic Association and TopDressing.com.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Lots of jewelry stores in the town center, but only one is locally owned, Beard's Diamonds.
We're the only local jewelry store at the town center.
That's Jacksonville's John Lupo, owner of Beard's for over 4 decades.
We're entrenched in Jacksonville, Florida.
In a sea of mega chain jewelers, John says it's easy to stand out because he's not handcuffed by a corporate handbook.
I am not beholden to a corporate structure, so we've got flexibility to do whatever we can and want, and we do.
And that includes lowering prices to undercut them every day.
Quality for quality, color for color, everything the same. We should be able to beat them hands down by minimum 20%. We go overseas ourselves. We know exactly what we're buying. This isn't getting marked up in a corporate structure. We will beat anybody's price anywhere.
So before you buy anything at one of those chains, get a second opinion at locally owned Beard's Diamonds. No corporate atmosphere, no corporate rules, no corporate high markups.
We want you to come shop us and you'll see a lot better price here.
Beard's Diamonds.
Everybody gets a good deal at Beard's.
Are you thinking about a pool for your home? Blue Haven Pools is Jacksonville's largest pool builder. They've built pools for over 20,000 satisfied families since 2000. It's never been easier to design the perfect pool for your home, family, and budget. Call Blue Haven Pools today at 904-620-0090 to get a free in-home estimate for your in-ground pool, or visit bluehaven.com. Don't let another summer pass by without a pool. Join thousands of happy Jacksonville pool owners in a Blue Haven pool.
Hey, this is Coach Jason Gibson of your Jacksonville Sharks. I know the importance of a strong game plan, and that's exactly what I've got with Clay Solar Installation Partners. They did the install of the solar panels at my house, and I couldn't be happier. Lower energy bills, clean power, and a winning team that made the whole process easy. If you're looking to save money and go solar, trust the pros at Clay Solar. Call Karen at Clay Solar today and tell them that Coach Gibson sent you.
ET here, and if you've ever been injured in an accident, visit my buddy Dr. McGowan at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. You have 14 days to see a doctor and protect your insurance benefits, even if you're at fault. And no matter what you hear, you have the right to choose your own doctor. So I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Their auto experts will guide you in every step of the way to ensure the care that you need. Your recovery starts with McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yacht rocking. People are already clamoring for Uncle Leo today. They're already looking forward to the Friday song.
Dang.
If Afternoon Delight doesn't make it with what I've got planned today, then I don't know what we're doing. The Forum Friday is a hit. Hicken's going to come back to a whole new format. We'll have him back for an Open Forum Monday where we just kick it around and have some fun. From the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You know, we're talking about this run-in that the fish charter captain had down there on the, southwest Florida. And talked to Kev about it and whatnot. Somebody came on the text line, though, said, I saw a boat during El Cheapo. That's a sheep's head tournament here in town. Under
El
the
Cheapo?
Yeah, El Cheapo. I saw a boat during the El Cheapo under the Nassau Bridge holding an axe up so people wouldn't come near a spot. Take that stuff serious, huh? Bleep's getting serious out there under the Nassau Bridge. By the way, this is just a Forum Friday observation here. The guy who sent in that text is not a serial texter. He's not texted. This is the first time he's texted since early November of last year, but it is what he texted that caught my eye. This was November 7th, 2024, and you want to talk about a complete different arc for a program. I believe when this kid reclassified and Florida added the cornerback earlier this week, I think I saw some rankings that they moved up to like 7th or 8th overall in the recruiting. Did you see that, E?
No.
They moved into the top 10 because they were sitting there anywhere. But depending on where you look, they were between 9 and 11, and they added this other 4 or 5 star. By the way, it's a huge class, so that ups your value. I think it's 27 signees they landed on, maybe even 28.
Okay.
But it has them, I think, by one of the rankings, 7th, 8th, 9th. In recruiting rankings. So after I got the El Cheapo text, I look up. There was a text set November 7th, and this is where things were then. Napes ranks 60th on Rivals with early signing in a month and a half. 60th. Remember how bad it was.
Okay.
They were 60th in recruiting. 6-0. They were under 500. They were losing games in every form or fashion until they weren't. And they got hot down the stretch and, picked up wins over top 10 teams, finished on a win streak. And now they're, suddenly one of those little keep your eye on programs. Of course, this is all balanced with the terribly unknown, perhaps lingering awful news about DJ Lagway. By the way, Doc's appearance here with us yesterday and his explanation of what's going on with Lagway just went viral almost on social media. So we're going to revisit that a little bit later this morning in context of DJ Lagway. And it's the quarterback whisperer is not with us today. He's got some family stuff that's going on. So it would have been a good day to have him because I don't know what questions that, are off limits with DJ Lagway, but I damn sure was going to ask him today. I'd have held him down. May have been the whisperer out of awkward uncomfortability decides he's not going to do the drill anymore after this morning. I would have done it all with incredible friendship and tact. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I was coming. For some Lagway answers. Anyway, I'm going to just tell you how the quote engaged the Gator Nation, I'm sure in particular, are with this DJ Lagway health story based on, wait, I'll tell you the number of views that this clip from our show yesterday has garnered in less than 24 hours.
Big
So
numbers.
You want to talk about those, those players and teams and names that move the needle? I love Doc. He's my guy. That Doc didn't move the needle. DJ Lagway, right? By the way, we could have done a exact same story on Billy Napier, and it got about 3,000 views, I bet.
For real.
Yeah. And that's why I keep continuing to say, in Gainesville, it's a DJ Lagway story. It's not a Billy Napier story. Billy's not going to last. I'll root for the guy. Keep it up. And you're a rootable guy. You do it the right way. You seem to have good intentions, and there are certainly strengths. I just don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It feels more Chiswick than Kirby Smart. It feels more maybe you can bottle something, but can you, keep it? Fire up the band. We got a football fix. Let me give you some headlines from around the National Football League. I love the theme of this column that I read. Safety, aesthetics, competitive advantage, the real reasons why some teams want to ban the tush push. There's one reason and one reason only. It's a gimme layup play for the Philadelphia Eagles. That's why they want it banned. There's one team in the entire league that if they have it third or fourth and less than a yard, makes it 90% of the time. There's only one team that can do that for whatever reason. And so that's why the aesthetics, from a fan standpoint, for me, it's the aesthetics more than anything. I can jive with the competitive part if I'm the Eagles saying, man, stop it. We're not doing anything illegal. It's ridiculous. Why are we even having this conversation? Except for that aesthetics part. That bothers me. I refer to it as a rugby scrum, which is, perhaps a little bit over the top, but it's just, I don't like the pushing and pulling. Take guys to the ground, man. And when their progress stops based on what that player can do, then let's blow the whistle. And now let's spot that ball with the Hawkeye technology. But yeah, I don't like, and again, I said this the other day, it's not just the tush push for me, it's the bubble screen where everything gets clogged up 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. No one blows the whistle, and then they push and pull and do everything but give them a ride on their shoulders, however much further they can make it. In fact, we see sometimes that people bust out of those log jams and keep going. And by the way, and here's where it stinks. If you're a defender, you're probably so paralyzed of everything's going slow here, nothing's happening, of actually taking a shot and making a football play, that they'd flag you. You hear me? So, analyze it all you want. The play's going to leave for a variety of those reasons. But I think when it comes to strictly the other teams, why they want it out, I don't think they care about the aesthetics. I think they're tired of one team being able to do something that no one else can do as regularly.
Yep.
And to me, that's baloney. I'm a bit surprised the Raiders are on board with Geno Smith. That's where they're going. And boy, I think the Raiders could be sneaky, E.
Yeah?
Yeah. You've put together a team out there in Las Vegas, all right, that has a Super Bowl winning head coach. Right? Pete Carroll, gang, remember, is now the Raiders head coach. You've got a, 7-time Super Bowl winning quarterback in Tom Brady as part of your management team. Geno Smith obviously has ties to Pete Carroll. He's very comfortable with Geno Smith. I mean, they pushed Russell Wilson out, and Geno Smith came in and gave him the equal production, remember?
Yes, sir.
More on why I think the Raiders could be sneaky in a second, but first I'm going to say that the Geno Smith wasn't just some bridge and we're going to go draft Shedeur Sanders. Doesn't look like that. He got a $75 million extension for a couple of years.
Yeah, they cut a check on Geno.
So Geno Smith now is firmly entrenched in Vegas. Listen, if you like him enough to trade for him, then double down on him and expect him for 2 or 3 years so you can build the rest of your football team. And part of that building is there doesn't seem to be it's the only marriage that is looked at in the mock drafts as perfectly, I think, as Mason Graham and the Jaguars. And that's Genty to the Raiders.
Yeah.
Everyone says that. And by the way, E, you know this from your ties to the Seahawks. Pete Carroll's going to run the football now.
And they're going to tote that pill.
They're going to run the ball. It's what he does. The beast mode was more than just Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
It was almost a mentality. And so, man, Genty in that Raiders uniform, it's not very often you take a rookie in the top 10 of your fantasy draft. Genty may be that guy next year.
For sure.
I mean, because the running backs do get and he's going to get the opportunities, and he is just built for that. So, Geno Smith, if they believe the Pete Carroll influence, you got Max Crosby, one of the best rush ends. I mean, certainly there are holes there. The Raiders are a lot like the Jaguars when it comes to the win totals. They pick one pick behind us. Somebody on the text line said Trey Hendrickson not only was in town fishing, but apparently he's building a house here in Jacksonville. I mean, it seemed to make perfect sense that the Jags just say, let's just make things easy for you and we'll take you.
They also saying that his wife is from Jacksonville.
Okay, well, that's probably there's the tie-in. Terrific. Well, Trey, if you're getting up at Adam early this morning and heading off to a hunt lodge or to a fish camp, just let me be the first to extend you the olive branch here on a Forum Friday. We would love to have you on the Jaguars. In fact, I'll trade one of our ends for you in a heartbeat. Which one do they want? Y'all want Trayvon Walker? Yeah.
Which pick one?
Yeah.
For sure.
This guy's much better than what we have every year. You want Trayvon? Yeah, Trayvon's got a high ceiling. This guy's got a high total. Listen, it's one of the few positions. I like our guys there. I think if we filled in talented defensive linemen around Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen, those guys probably don't get the credit they should get as football players. They're on such sad sack teams with terrible defensive plans and weak defensive linemen lined up next to them. Those guys did combine for 27.5 sacks. That is not easy to do.
It's not.
Yeah, but Henderson had 17.5 on his
By
own
himself.
last year. And I'm just saying this because apparently he's comfy right here on the First Coast. Man, it's a good time to be an NFL player. If you are any good at all, if you're just above average player and you sign a new contract, you immediately these days are becoming the highest paid at your position. And that's now the case with Trey McBride, a really good player for the Cardinals. Is he the best tight end in football? I don't think so. But a 4-year extension worth $76 million, $43 million guaranteed. That annual average of $19 million, now the highest for an NFL tight end. That record had previously belonged to Travis Kelce. I don't know, man. That tight end glory, we lived through the tight end glory days where we had a bunch of those, the Wittens and Gonzalez's and Gates, and that we lived through, a Hall of Fame era. Those guys are kind of cycling out. I mean, they're still good tight ends, don't get me wrong, but doesn't feel like it's as thick as it was.
Not like it used to be.
Like if Trey McBride is one of your top 3 tight ends, right, in the game right now, and I think he probably deserves that. Man, I saw this trade yesterday, and this to me seems more about just keeping it nice and easy for one team more than it does adding the talent for the other. The Patriots traded quarterback Joe Milton to the Cowboys. They did this for one reason only. So in week 2 or 3 of the preseason, when Joe Milton throws 2 70-yard bombs and Drake May's barely played, or he plays against the first team and has a 3 and out, they believe in Drake May. They don't want any of the noise around him. And Joe Milton looks like he could be a noisemaker where he goes.
Oh, okay.
You know, he played that little bit last year as a rookie, but no, and shined. He was really great in the preseason. Got a big arm. And listen, no one's saying that Joe Milton is going to be, you know, some future starter in the league, but he's good enough to create a deal in New England while Drake May gets up and going. And there are a lot of people who are big believers in Drake May. Big believers in him moving forward, and that's not just in New England, by the way. All right, it's the unending draft talk. I'll continue to try and approach it from some fresh angles for y'all as we move through a GFL Friday. That's Football Fix. It's brought to you by the Sharks. Hey, Sharks at home Sunday afternoon. Home opener, off to a 1-0 start, improved roster, and a better, just a better situation than they were in a year ago, year 1 in the league. So get out and see them. In fact, do we have Sharks tickets here or no?
No,
that's bad. Yeah, we gave them out earlier in the week. That's what we do. Also by the home course, the Jointon Creek Golf Club. Listen, I'll be off playing some fancy golf today, some competitive golf, but my heart always lies with the home course. So reach out and enjoy the home course. Best value in golf. It's the Jointon Creek Golf Club. All right. First quarter's over, and we're a second-half team. Imagine that. You're listening to The Drill on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
I'm Brad Keselowski.
Brad Keselowski. He wins.
And you're listening to 1010XL, Jack Sports Radio.
Frank Frangie here. For 3 generations, Nimnik has been the place customers keep coming back to, treating you right, giving the most back to our community, more choices and better prices for you. So who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Well, the answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnik's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer. Nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik is there for you even on Sundays. Nimnik Buick GMC understands that weekends might be the only time you have available, and that's why they're open on Saturdays from 9 to 7 and Sundays from 11 to 5. Visit their showroom off Phillips Highway or shop online 24/7 at NimnikBuickGMC.com. That's NimnikBuickGMC.com. Head to Nimnik today. GMC, we are professional grade.
All right, gentlemen, we've trained for this. We've battled the elements. But if there's one thing we can't afford, it's letting the heat take us out before the big game.
But, Coach, the AC at my house is busted. I barely got any sleep last night.
Well, Johnson, you should have called Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. They're the real MVPs. Now let's cue the cool music.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. The coolest cats in town.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Baloo here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
I'm Max Fink on your Gator station. 1010XL is your pipeline to Gator Nation. Listen to the Gator Report all year round.
Freshened up by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators. 1010XL.
Go, Gator!
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Storms are part of every season. Make sure you're protected. Call American Electrical to make sure you have the best in surge protection. Don't lose your home electronics to a lightning strike. Call 737-7770 for American Electrical.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Getting a pool? David Garrard here. I just did. But before they dug, I called Clearwater Irrigation, and they capped off all my sprinkler lines so the pool company could just dig away.
Then when your pool's finished, we'll install your sprinkler system back to full coverage.
And now my backyard oasis is getting watered beautifully.
And maybe then, Dave, I could take another quick dip.
Bigger swimming trunks, John. Much bigger.
Clearwater Irrigation.
And drainage, too.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
I'm Tori Edwards with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010XL, presented by Southern Oak Insurance. The number one seeded Florida men's basketball team is dancing to the Final Four of the NCAA tournament. The Gators shocked Texas Tech by 5 in the West Region Championship after erasing a 9-point deficit with less than 3 minutes to go in the game. Walter Clayton Jr. led the way, scoring a game-high 30 and hitting 13 over the final 5 minutes. The win marks the 6th time Florida has clinched a spot in the Final Four and first time in 11 years. The Gators will take on number 1 ranked overall Auburn tomorrow. The last time the conference rivals met, Florida dominated the Tigers with a 9-point victory in the Jungle. Listen live at 5:30 on 1010 a.m. I'm Tori Edwards with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010XL. It's 71 degrees at 7 o'clock. Time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
This is how we do.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
I'm going to admit this is more a Hicken thing, but my boy in there grooves to it. That's it. There, thank you.
Yes, sir. Come on, need some emotion.
Hey! Whoa! I didn't go to the tagline. I'm proud of you, my boy. We don't need that till the 9 o'clock hour. And it's a happy Friday to you all. It's an exciting development this morning in the drill. We've opted to go with Open Forum Friday. We're bouncing all over the daggum place, and it's a beautiful thing. Hop on board. We got lots of good sports to talk about. We haven't even approached the Final Four. What a Saturday night it'll be for Gator basketball fans. Gator football, not so much, man, because of this lingering issue. And, man, if you want an indication of just how engaged Gator Nation is with this DJ Lagway story, then look no further than just our little segment that we do every week here on 1010XL with Doc Murphy, fantastic Doc Murphy. And, you know, it's look, this comes in combination with Billy Napier's, comments about DJ Lagway the other day. I mean, the bottom line is you can't, urinate on our legs and tell us it's raining. I mean, it's beyond ridiculous now. If you're trying to fancy this storyline that there's nothing wrong when your quarterback's not playing. I mean, it's borderline like lunacy. Think about it. You have a coach who continues to go in front of the media, again, for a reason. There's nothing to see here. Well, you're right. We're not seeing this here. This being DJ Lagway actually on the football field getting better, working on his timing with his young receivers. There's 1,000 reasons why this is a big deal. And it wasn't a big deal earlier. I'll give Hicken credit. He's been nervous about this for a while.
He has been.
Right? He's been bringing this up, nervous about this for a while. I've chosen to at least believe that, well, certainly they're not dumb enough to have a quarterback that needs surgery, yet they won't give it to him. It can't be that. It must be something. Now we hear that through this and that, it could be a core injury or, part of the frustration is that in today's day and age, they won't tell you anything. It's a point that I brought up with Doc Murphy. It just makes you assume the worst and speculate because no one will show you any transparency when it comes to important storylines. And Doc's opinion on DJ Lagway and speculation about what it could be and the path that Florida has taken to this point blew up yesterday on our Twitter page. Had over 40,000 views. In fact, I got, because Doc, he's not, Mr. Twitter by any stretch, but he sent me a text this morning that a buddy had sent him and said, this is the first thing to come up on Twitter if you search DJ Lagway. And at that time, 26,000 people have already watched. And now it's 45,000 views. And, Doc Murphy's with us every Thursday, but it's, typically closer to the 8 o'clock hour. This is what has caused such a stir of interest on social media. When I asked Doc yesterday, just about, what gives?
Unless he has something that needs surgery that he wouldn't be throwing 4 months postseason, right? So
no, that's not Doc. Yeah. Oh, was? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Of course, as you've already kind of alluded to, if you have a problem that needs fixed, it gets fixed right after the season. Fixing a shoulder, and let's get back up. So he probably has a labral tear of his shoulder. He's not having instability in that it's not coming out, or they would have fixed him.
Okay.
But he may have had a dislocation or a subluxation of his shoulder that is now a lingering problem where it's a little loose and causing some pain in certain situations. You can play through that as long as it's not dislocating without harm, and we do that a lot. And then after the season, you fix it, right? So why didn't they fix it after the season? Now you're pushing up against it. The return to play after one of those is about, for a thrower, is kind of 4 months.
So, again, there it is in a nutshell. I can sum that whole thing up in this. What in the hockey sticks, Florida? What do we do? You better be right. And by the way, am I the only one that kind of feels like this 18-year-old kid needs reps? Wasn't that the knock on why Anthony Richardson never got to his ceiling because of either his spot on the depth chart or his injuries? He never got enough reps. DJ Lagway's future looks fantastic. Who knows how high he can ultimately rise up the draft board? He's by no means a finished product. By no means. Now, he's a winner. He's got that it factor, and that's going to bring a lot. But DJ Lagway's, I think if you ask most Gator fans, E.T., what DJ Lagway's stats were last year, and they'd tell you, 18 touchdowns, 4 picks.
Okay.
What do you think without looking? Before you look, what were DJ Lagway's numbers last year?
I'm gonna say, I like 18 and 14, so I'll go 20 and 5. 20
touchdowns, 5 picks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look to confirm, but what I was looking to confirm is I'm pretty sure DJ Lagway had 12 touchdowns and 9 interceptions a year ago.
Ooh.
So yeah, not 18 and 4, 20 and 5. Now, I tell you what else he did. He didn't lose the game as a starter. The numbers don't always mean everything. It went 10 for 17 for 180 yards against Ole Miss. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. 14 of 22, 133 yards at FSU. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. 22 of 35 threw for 300 yards against Tulane. 1 touchdown, 2 picks. He's a work in progress. This is important time on the field that could be spent getting better. And I don't want to tiptoe into revisiting and restating everything we did yesterday. I was just kind of amazed that's attracted so many ears, so many eyes. That post on 1010XL yesterday from a segment we're lucky enough to have each and every week. Doc Murphy knows his stuff, man. Dude's operated on presidents, literally, literally.
Man, different.
Doc Murphy, this is a great one, too. Do you know this one, E? You might know it. There's certainly some Googans that I'm going to say this don't know it because it was a big deal back in the day, and then you just kind of let it go, right? But Doc Murphy intercepted both Doug Flutie and Dan Marino in his college career?
Yep.
Y'all think about that.
Come on, man.
There's a little scrappy little 6-foot corner there at Army. Intercepted both Doug Flutie and Dan Marino. By the way, it's not like he had 41 interceptions. Didn't play in the NFL. He never You got to drag any good story out of Doc, by the way. He's so humble.
Oh, my goodness.
The guy's done so, like, it'll come up. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'd climb Mount Everest. What?
By the way, my jersey's retired at Army.
Yeah, that kind of thing. That's But, yeah, Doc, with the picks of both Marino and Flutie. You had a pretty good college career if you've done that.
Oh, my goodness. Flutie and Marino. Come on, man.
Hey, man. So my guy, not my guy, he's your guy now. I'm done with this guy. I've tried to like him. I've tried to look past the immaturity and the borderline stupidity. I just can't with Ja Morant.
Yeah, who's going to touch that?
I'm just to the point now. I can't. I'm not getting on the Ja train again, even if you're acting right and playing good. You're just too stupid or
just doesn't care.
Or just disrespectful, man. Stop it. You're not, you know what? You're a nice player and all, but quit it. You're not all world. So Ja, a couple of nights ago, hit a shot. This is a man who's been in trouble for guns more than once already. He's flashed them. He's shown them. He's pulled them on teenagers. He's done gestures on the court. The NBA's given him multiple, long suspensions. And so what does he do a couple nights ago in a game against, was it Cleveland maybe? I don't know, one of those teams. Ja hits a shot, and he turns around and he gives them the machine gun. And so the gun, like the 2 gun gesture, and it's machine gun. Don't give me it's Hocus Pocus or Harry Potter.
Oh, no, that's a chopper.
Yeah. There you go. It's a chopper, doggone it. You can't bust the chopper out in the middle of an NFL game. So anyway, Ja does this 2 nights ago. And the NBA doesn't suspend him, but they warn him, okay? They didn't fine him. They didn't suspend him. They warned him. Memphis back on the court last night. Ja hits his first shot. What does he do? He brings out the chopper,
Chop, 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 chop.
My guy brought the chopper out 10 minutes after they warned him. So if you're the NBA today, don't you have to give him like 30 games?
Something.
Hey, boss. Do you not what a warning means? And by the way, did Ja Morant, I got to be honest, did he earn a warning for the first one? Shouldn't that have been like a 2-gamer right off the bat?
Right. You would have thought.
This guy is, excuse the metaphor, a loose cannon. All right, I have one question here on the Friday forum. You're welcome, Googans. Wait till I jump into this text line. I want to do one segment. What do y'all want to talk about?
I know, right?
Shoot it to me on the text line. I have a question, E.
So,
I've decided, by the way, to start rounding down. From now on, when I refer to my age, it's going to be 55. So there's that.
I should have said, when you said, I got a question, I should have said fire.
And I could have choppered it in there. Oh, Ja. Is Memphis even in it? They fired their coach. I saw that. That was weird. He's a pretty good coach.
Yeah, he was.
The NBA's silly. Well, I mean, look what Sacramento did. Sacramento was just building to being a good team, remember?
And tore it all
shooting
down.
that thing, shooting that laser up into the sky. They were young. They were improving.
Yep.
They traded for Sabonis. They gave up Halliburton, by the way, pretty good player. They had Sabonis and Fox, and was it Mike Brown was the coach, and it was arrow pointed up, and now they've traded Fox and fired the coach, and they're no good. It's just, it's hard, man, unless you get that abject superstar, and it got to be higher than De'Aaron Fox superstardom to build around. It's just hard to win, isn't it? Anyway, I digress. Forum Friday. Can a 55-year-old white dude, E.T., wear joggers on the golf course?
It could be done.
You think so?
Yeah, it could be done.
You guys know what joggers are out there? E.T., tell them what joggers are. It's like a golf pant that's
like capris, ankles just showing.
Yeah, but it's usually maybe some
Spandex,
elastic, down
at
there.
the bottom.
So it's not like flaring, like
Correct.
like you should have high heels on with them.
But it could be done. They can be swagged out.
We get these. We get to, like, when you play some of these events, you get to like order from a catalog. There's a certain set amount. I've got so many hats and shirts and stuff through the years. I said, you know what? I'm gonna give me a pair of those joggers and see how ridiculous I look.
No, man.
So we'll see. I don't know.
Slim.
You got to understand, there ain't a man in my peer group that I play golf with that own joggers, would wear joggers, and quite frankly, would be caught dead in them.
Oh, they gonna ride on you.
I'm not afraid, dude. We're gonna see.
They gonna ride on you.
I'm gonna see. I mean, I just got to say, I don't know. It was just a question posed. You've given me like it was kind of a hesitant thumbs up. You had to think about it.
You know what I'm saying? It can be done.
How many pairs of joggers you got?
I don't have any.
You don't have any at all? I thought you had one pair.
No, not.
You just got to ride high. You got a couple that.
I like mine. I like my ankles showing with my pants, but I don't have to actually last.
All right. Well, I would have at one point categorized one of those that way. I would have thought I've seen you.
But I will.
Yeah. No. You can get. I didn't say a cultured 38-year-old. I said a 55-year-old white dude. There's a difference.
You did.
Pants on the ground. This is the drill. Let's come back with a 10-minute drill. Let's hit some headlines from around the National Football League. You're listening. And elsewhere, by the way, you're listening to a GFL Friday on 1010XL.
The drill. From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios, your home for Gators hoops is 1010XL.
Florida's third national championship is a Texas two-step away. The Fighting Gators and Auburn Tigers tangle in San Antone. Saturday at 5:30 on 1010XL.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
This is Dr. George Bari, inviting you to look online at BariOrthopedics.com for the latest in medical advancements when it comes to getting you back to full joint health. After studying under Dr. James Andrews, I know proper diagnosis is the first key to treatment, and educating the patient is the fastest path to recovery. Whether it's chronic back pain, nagging arthritis, or necessary joint replacement, we're here to serve you in the best possible way. We are Bari Orthopedics, and online at BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Your Jacksonville Sharks are back and ready to take the field for the 15th anniversary season. The Drive for Five starts Sunday, April 6th as your Sharks take on the Las Vegas Nighthawks. Ask about special ticket pricing for all you sports teams at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. 904-621-0700.
Go Sharks! Prosser here. Sharks football is back. Come celebrate the 15th anniversary season this Sunday, April 6th, as the Sharks take on the Las Vegas Nighthawks in their home opener at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Already 1-0, the Sharks look to crush Vegas on Pirates and Princesses Night. Have some family fun and break out your best pirate hat or tiara.
We're naught but humble pirates.
For tickets and special pricing for youth sports teams, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. That's jacksharks.com or 621-0700.
Dan and Jeff take you down the fairway with the PGA Tour professionals.
Keep an eye on this one.
Crunch with the Tour.
Tour news, tips, and inside info. Brought to you by
Clearwater Irrigation. 8:30 Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
Where can we go on Earth to get away from those pesky mosquitoes? The answer next.
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Iceland and the Faroe Islands are the only countries on Earth where there are no mosquitoes.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Spring and summer registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball. Plus, all new girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows. I-9 Sports with fields and gyms all over 3 counties. And the best thing is I-9 Sports offers sports year-round so kids can always find a sport to play. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Are you embarrassed by your ugly, cracked concrete driveway? Stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway for all your outdoor living needs. Let them show you how a durable paver driveway can enhance your home. Visit stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Brought to you by
Advanced Business Solutions.
your local authorized Xerox dealer on 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
All right, let me do some forum summon. I'm going to sum up some forum info from today. We got into the disc golf. He asked me about the disc golf, and they are all over town. People have said to me there's 5 or 6 or 7 around town. Other people are talking about big, great regional ones other places. So, yeah, you want to try out the disc golf, St. Johns County Fairgrounds, they're saying, Ed Austin Park, Clutho Park, Trinity, all over the place.
I'm going to try it out.
All right. If you see, it is a different kind of disc. Probably buy a cheap one at Dick's or somewhere, but it's not like a typical Frisbee. They're like a little bit. Have you seen them?
No.
Yeah, they're a little smaller and heavier. And you throw those, they throw those suckers 100 yards. And the way, have you seen a disc golf course? You know anything at all about it?
That's when they throw the Frisbee like they into like the chain.
Yeah,
thing?
there's like a basket.
Okay.
That's correct. All right, so there's that when it comes to disc golf. Yeah, I mean, can we at least get through the pickleball craze before we add disc golf to it? So there's that. I'm also learning this morning. One, that we have a million listeners because I don't mean we throw anything out there and there's like 1,000 text responses, and this has been happening since 6:05. So appreciate you. If you see Trey Henderson walking around town, don't get too excited. That's my second little item this morning. Because Trey Hendrickson is a beast, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. He's unhappy in Cincinnati. But if you see him around Jacksonville, don't assume that the Jags are on the prowl. We're learning that his wife is from Jacksonville, as you said. So the Hendricksons, as I understand, are building a house in town. If we could get him just to... Yeah, we'll take it. If we could get him just to, work, live where you work. Sounds good to me. But if you see Henderson around town, it's not a Jag storyline. His wife's from here. They're building a home here, and certainly could use his talent. That's for sure. And then, I'm urging you guys, if you love golf, to find a way to make it happen. And I'm demanding that you all take a golf trip. And you can find one as cheap as a couple $100. I don't care how you piece it together. It doesn't have to be all under one package. It's, from some resort. Just pick a city and find some good, affordable golf and stay at the daggum Motel 6 with your boys for a couple of nights. However you do it, do it. And that also extends to, my kids are doing this now, and I feel for them because I want to just step up, and every time they want to play golfy, I just want to pay for it.
Yeah.
But I can't do it. I can't do it that way. You got to make people, you appreciate things so much more when you're using your hard-earned money, so I won't do it. But they do that. They do what their dad did when he was in his 20s. They scratch around and play after the hour where it goes down the cheapest, and you monitor this and that, and sign up
9 after 5.
Yeah, back when I was younger, and I don't know if they still had these, but they were very popular. They would have these cards, these discount cards, and they'd be like all the courses in town you could play for like cart fees. You'd have to pay X amount for the card, and then you would pay less. You could, back in the day, you could play for $18, $20, which is pretty good. I will say this: golf has remained affordable. Like some of the middle courses, higher courses, their prices have gone all up. But those baseline courses, they're still as affordable as they were back in the day, especially when you're playing. Also from the text line, back in the early 90s, I was making $20K. I would hunt and peck all the Goat Ranch green fee deals. Jack's Beach after 3, $10. JU had a course, Hyde Park. Always had fun. So true. I've been in that boat with you, my friend.
Earlier, did Captain Kev said there was a course that's like the Masters?
He was talking about, the condition. Maybe we need to run up there, E.
Right. Where do you remember?
He's in Georgia. I'd have to get the name. Okay. He said it was some, it was an odd-sounding name, something Wakataka Bay or something,
didn't he? Slide.
Yeah, I don't think it's super far, a couple, 3 hours maybe from here, but look, that's a perfect example. Go up there.
We are do a round, man.
Yeah,
we do a round.
Getting the days in. Get you a days in up there for 2 nights and play that golf course 3 times. He said it's beautiful, $50 a round. Perfect. Oh, we appreciate this, E. This kind of text, it makes you come back to work on Monday.
Bet.
This show is what makes my hour-and-a-half commute enjoyable every morning.
Sheesh.
The city appreciates you fellas big time. Thank you. Hour and a half, my friend. We'll do the best we can. There are going to be some days where you're going to want to hit that thing, turn that thing off. What else we got here? Somebody was showing off their fishing from up around Nassau yesterday, so we got that going as well. All right, E, I've wasted enough of your valuable time. What do we got for a 10-minute drill here? What's this caught your eye here?
Oh, does the name Mercy Miller ring a bell?
No.
He plays for Houston. He'll be playing in the Final Four. He's the son of rapper Master P.
Okay. I don't think he plays, right?
No, he doesn't get much playing time. But
it figures if your name is Mercy, your papa's a rapper. Yeah. Plumbers don't name their kid Mercy. Yeah, they name him Bill.
Oh, Master P, he had a stint in the NBA for a little bit. Like he was trying to make a run.
I remember that.
I think he played for the Toronto Raptors.
Where was the Master P on the on the scale of greatness in the hip hop? Big time?
Oh, he had a run.
Okay.
He was No Limit Soldiers. Oh, they had a run. So, yeah.
And that's what now, 30 years ago, 20 years ago? It's been a while.
It was when I was growing up. Yeah. Make him say, I remember. He had a nice little run. But,
what about Oops Upside Your Head? That wasn't him?
Also, what caught my head, we touched on it earlier, but Ja Morant, what do you think the NBA is going to do, if anything?
I think got to come back with a suspension. They flat out warned the guy for something that has been an ongoing problem with him. And he just, this guy literally, I think, hadn't he met face-to-face with the alien commissioner a couple times?
I thought so.
I mean, what's he doing?
Apologized.
Yeah, he just thinks it's just
do
nothing.
Better.
They're going to suspend him. They should. Probably 3-5 games. If you don't know, he made the gun gesture at the bench a couple nights ago. The NBA warned him, hey, man, don't do that. And then he turns around last night, and does it again after his first bucket.
Unloaded that chopper.
Maybe the guy just doesn't want to play. He does whatever he can to get suspended and get paid. I don't know at this point. It's pretty bizarre behavior to be told, what to do in a job that you make tons of millions of dollars and then not do it. Just to turn around and blatantly defy what they ask you to do. For what, too, by the way? I mean, pick your battles, bro. You're going to take a stand on that? Yeah.
A week?
Ja's a dum-dum.
A week. So after a week, what's your stance now on the torpedo bet?
I think it's probably being a slightly overblown. And I think if there is a legal bat that hits better than others, every single player would be using it.
Yeah.
I think there is definitely some placebo effect going on here. You get that bat in your hand, you feel more confident. I know, some people know what that feels like in golf, right? Sometimes you just feel like you're going to hit it good, you hit it good. I think the fact that it's the Yankees and they're on this torrid pace has made the switch that much more noticeable. And I think that the stories of the players that are failing with the bat are going underreported because I've seen those as well. So-and-so ditches torpedo bat, or the team says torpedo bat's made it work, so I think ultimately the torpedo bat will find its place as a niche tool for certain players and teams, and it will continue to be monitored. And if it indeed is providing some sort of competitive advantage, or if it's taking the statistical numbers outside of where they should be, that they'll ban it. But for now, it doesn't look like it's breaking any rules, and I guess we'll just have to kind of wait and see from there.
How confident are you in your Florida Gators as they prepare to take on Auburn this weekend?
It's a tough time to be super confident because there are 4 teams left. In this case, there are 4 really good teams, and they're all playing really good basketball, winning basketball. They've knocked back 4 teams that were coming at them. I like the fact that Florida beat Auburn earlier this year. I know that it doesn't mean anything. Kentucky beat Tennessee twice and then lost by 30 in the Sweet 16, 20 or whatever it was. They blew them out. So I'm confident. I'm confident to reach the final, and that is the first time I think Florida will face a team, if it's Duke, that's better than they are. Okay. And the reason I'm confident about Florida beating UConn and winning the SEC tournament against Alabama and Tennessee and beating Auburn is because I think they're better than those teams. They have more talent. They have coaching just as good, and they got that dog in them, and that matters. Now, if it is Duke, and I think it will be Duke in the final, I will not be confident. I will be hopeful, and I'll be excited. But, again, it'll be the first team in a long time since maybe Florida went to Auburn the first time where I thought going into the game the other team's better. It's going to take an upset. And, by the way, the point spread shows that. Florida's favored against Auburn. They will not be against Duke.
Florida has not played their best game yet, and I don't think they have to play their best game against Auburn. I do think they have to play their best game against Duke.
I think that's well said. I think that's on point. In fact, here's another thing that I used to love this about Doug Peterson, and then he forgot how to coach and control a locker room and lead his men, but he was a very good psychologist that year that they rallied and made the playoffs. He didn't shy away from what fans and probably his own team were talking about. What do we got to do to be a playoff team? Shoot, we're 3-6. And he kept telling them, hey, look, I see this, this, and this, and we match up with this, this, and this, and we're going to be good. And I think when your team is successful, they can really ride that psychological wave that you put them on. And I think part of that with success is not trying to pretend like you don't know what's up. And Todd Golden's good that way. He don't pretend like he don't know what's up. He knows that his team is never out of a game. He knows that his team's got a run in them. He knows that their depth is the key to their success. And these guys are ready. Our guys are ready. But back to your point, he said in the interview that I was watching, he said something coaches don't often say. And we haven't played our best basketball yet in the NCAA tournament. We played our best basketball in the SEC tournament. Be nice to play our best basketball as well. And that can come off as kind of arrogant if you're in the Final Four, right?
Right.
And it didn't sound that way. So back to your initial question that I've gone off the rails on, I'm very confident. I'm confident. I'm not very confident about any match. I'm confident about the Auburn game, and I would not be confident if it were Duke. Now, for some reason, even though I guess it doesn't make total sense, if Houston beats Duke, upsets them, I will be confident against Houston, even though that would tell you they're better than Duke. Auburn is the interesting one here if they advance because they've played all 3 teams. Auburn played and lost to Florida. They played and lost to Duke. They played and beat Houston. So there's that. Good?
We good.
All right. That's the 10-minute drill. Folks are hitting me up on the Forum Friday here earlier about The Hunt. The Hunt is this reality show, so to speak, that the Jaguars put together.
Well done, too.
Yeah, that's what I hear, and it's going to be a must-watch this year, especially now that we have a more personal effect. So you're going to go behind the scenes with the Jags brass, and suddenly that brass includes Tony Baselli. So you enjoy some snippets of stuff that I've got to see in person, the home life of Tony Baselli and, complaining about doing the dishes we've picked and chosen some of the best of episode 1 of The Hunt. And we'll jump into that when we come back on the other side. It's a GFL Friday. That's Green for Life. Look for those bright green trucks and cans all over the First Coast.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
This is Jacksonville Sports Radio. 1010XL.
Call 904-500-COOL. Ideal conditions.
Want to support a locally and veteran-owned company? If you need a new AC, we should be your first and only call. Ideal Conditions keeps you cool. Just ask your AC. Call 904-500-COOL or visit idealconditionsjacks.com.
Call 904-500-COOL.
Honk if you see us. Call for service.
Ideal Conditions.
Idealconditionsjacks.com.
Before you buy that diamond ring at one of those mega national chain jewelry stores, get a second opinion and save money at Beard's Diamonds.
We will beat anybody's price anywhere.
Meet John Lupo, owner of Beard's Diamonds, the town center's only locally owned jeweler with international connections.
We go directly right to the cutters. There is no middlemen, no wholesalers. It goes from the cutter to the consumer.
And John says Beard's selection is second to none.
You'll walk in the store and you'll see more diamonds, more bracelets, more earrings than anywhere in Jacksonville. I guarantee it.
And at Beard's Diamonds, you get a lifetime warranty and a nationwide price protection guarantee.
You can buy with confidence at Beard's. Everything comes with a money-back guarantee, and we will make sure you're 100% satisfied. We stand behind everything all the time.
All this plus no commission salespeople and a total no-pressure experience.
We want you to be a Beard's customer, and we'll do anything to get it.
Beard's Diamonds, a refreshing alternative to mega chain jewelers.
Everybody gets a good deal at Beard's.
Everyone seems to be in a time crunch these days. Well, don't forget you can always count on the cold case at Daly's. Always convenient, always cold. Whether it's the king of beers, Natty Light, Stella, or Cigar City, the Goose Island or Bud Light Seltzer. Dash into Daly's and grab one to go.
Hey, so why don't we tee off?
Tee it high and let it fly.
He's got a beautiful backswing. Oh, he got all of that one.
Tour news, local updates, and the latest gear. Cut a few strokes off your game Saturday mornings at 10 with the Edwin Watts Golf Hour on 1010XL.
Hicken here with lots more on George Moore Chevrolet. Hey, Justin Moore, what are you doing in our commercial?
Dan, this Moore just wanted to remind folks of vehicles less than $20,000 on our lot. Or you can always go more with our Silverado EV.
I have my boy Blue, that beautiful Gator Blue Silverado. Love, love, love it. And that service department, second to none. Let's just say it means more to Gabe and the boys who take great care of us.
Not to mention, we do more for the community. We love Jacksonville. Been around these parts since 1986.
George Moore Chevrolet. Need I say more?
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Hunters Know Patience is part of the game.
Just got to keep hunting.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Waltz on the Nimnicht Outdoors Show. Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com, powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
Yo, it's your main man E.T. here, and it's time to make those summer break plans. Clay County is calling. From paddleboarding on Doctor's Lake to reeling in the big one on Black Creek, or cruising the St. Johns River. There's no better place to dive into warm weather fun. Enjoy live music, local festivals, food trucks, and fireworks lighting up the night. Discover scenic parks, hidden trails, and must-visit local gyms. Your summer adventures start here. Visit exploreclay.com.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging? Spring is here, a time to renew. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist, here to help you look and feel your best with minimal to no downtime. Rejuvenate your skin, strengthen your core, and sculpt your body with advanced face and body treatments designed to restore your youthful glow and confidence. Just in time for spring and summer. A healthier, more fit you starts now. Visit dermagnify.com and step into spring looking and feeling your best.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. No, you're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. No, you're never gonna keep me down. This could be our anthem here in Jacksonville. We've been knocked down a bunch, and we get up this time.
We do.
Thanks to the big fella. By the way, it turns out I've somewhat answered that can a 55-year-old white dude wear joggers, new golf style pant, and so I went and tried some. I forgot I had them in the car. I tried them on last break, ET, and I've realized now I've kind of got starter joggers from this standpoint. They're a little bit long, so really it's just kind of a tapered bottom near a golf shoe. And quite frankly, I think that personally I might like better. Now you'd want to show a little of that lower.
Show them ankles.
You want to show that the lower shin.
Yeah, my ankles were visible all players week.
Yeah, I know they were. See, that's what I mean. I kind of assumed that I would have lost $1 million. Somebody came to me and said, the question about how many pairs of joggers does ET own? You know, I said 2 or 3, and the answer is 0. I would have lost right off the bat.
My pants, they're tailored up there. Or,
I got you.
I'll cuff them up.
Sure. Well, it's, you do you. You got a terrific sense of style and fashion. I'm throwing joggers on, wondering like, heck, this is a good move.
Speaking of golf, Jeffrey.
Okay.
You're going to like this. The boys are on fire, by the way, on the text line.
Yeah, we got him engaged today. Something about the Forum Friday. Hey, look, we still got this segment coming where, what do you want to talk about? Shoot us a text.
Thought I'd let you know, Jeff. I got my first birdie at Julianton Creek this past week. Been golfing regularly since last year. Got it on the short par 4 on the back 9.
Okay, yeah, that would be number 15.
So my question to you, because I have yet to get a birdie.
Yeah.
And I'm going,
by the way, first shout, was that on the text line?
Yeah, that was on the text line.
First shout out to the first birdie, man. Those matter. Yeah. Those are cool. Good for you.
So that's what I was going to say. Like, I haven't. I can't imagine getting my first birdie.
You'll get one sooner rather than later. But you got to, now look, one thing that you've kind of not fallen into is if it's bad, but you're falling into playing a lot of team golf. Like your deal now is you're playing these scrambles. Well, I mean, you're not going to get a birdie even unless you're playing your own ball. So, right. But if you get out and play, 27 holes a week. Play 18, maybe play 9 one afternoon. You'll start making birdies. You'll hit even by accident. You'll make them. Just make some contact, and birdies come in all shapes and sizes. There ain't no laws that says you can't bang one off a tree on or roll it or whatever. So now it's just a matter of time.
Do you remember your first birdie?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no idea. I started playing golf as a kid, so but I wasn't in the. Hold on now, I wasn't in the Escalade Dr. Pepper crew. Okay. Well, I was slumming around some little muni. My dad would play a little. When I was a real little kid, my dad would play a little bit of golf. Golf wasn't back. Middle Tennessee golf ain't what golf is here in Florida in 2024. Right? It was a different. Just whatever. Shove 18 flags in the dirt somewhere, and boys will chase it around. So I don't remember the first one. I really started playing a little bit of golf when my dad got transferred to Puerto Rico. Soy Borinquen, La Isla Encantada. Yeah, when my dad got transferred there, the company, because they were sending us there, gave the family a membership at like the resort down there, right? So I got to play a lot of golf when I was a kid for, free basically. And there wasn't a whole lot else to do, really. So it would have come in then. I was probably 14, 15 years old, I guess. I wish I remembered it. I do remember one birdie. I don't remember a ton of them, but like an early birdie, like if I go back to my teenage years, And it wasn't my first one, but I was about 16, I guess. And when my dad worked, they had a men's group of golfers, and they would go play at other parts of the island like once every couple or 3 months, right? They had their 30 guys, and it was just like what we do now, a golf trip. You go, you'd play golf, you'd sit around the clubhouse, have some lunch or whatever. And I can remember one time at the last minute, one of the guys couldn't make it, so I was like 16 maybe. And my dad let me go play. So I was the fourth in his group.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, with all these grown men. Again, I'm 15, 16 years old. I'm in over my head. I'm a little bit intimidated, but whatever. And you're feeling the pressure. You want to play good. You're a kid. And I'll never forget, we played the first hole, and I birdied. I birdied the first hole.
Oh, wow.
And then proceeded to just make an abject mess of the golf course, shot over 100. And immediately, that's when I developed my sense for witticism and getting out of my uncomfortable situations. Was every grown man that came up to me and asked me how I played, I went with this line: I had a good front one and a bad back 17.
I'm going to use that because, man, I know I hack up the courses.
I had a good front one. I'm looking at some of these texts, man. It's funny. 55 with joggers here. There you go. On the text line.
Wear them joggers. Show them ankles.
Listening to the app over there in Tally.
They say because whenever before I got into the golf, everybody wants to drive. You know what I'm saying? The big stick. But they say, is Josh, my buddy, always says, you drive for show,
you putt for dough. That's for sure.
So that's the game that you have, and that's your best. That's the best part.
Putting
of the game,
is the best part of my, relatively average game. Whatever. I am what I am. I'm an 8. I'm going to shoot around 80 usually, and shooting under 80 is more and more infrequent of late. In other words, he lived in the mid to late, high 70s for a lot of years, and can again. By the way, shall again. More from the text line. Joggers just have cuffed ankles. They're not short like capris unless you're a weirdo.
Oh, come on.
They're normally pretty much pant length, and they just cinch you up. Rock them, Jeff. They'll make you look 10 years younger. Okay, so I guess then 45. I told you, I'm now rounding down. I'm now 55. Whenever my age comes up on the air, if I'm talking about an age group, I've decided that I identify as a 55-year-old. Here we go. I'm 45, round down. Have quite a few pair of joggers. I mean, get it how you live. Why wouldn't you? It's comfortable. They do feel unbelievably comfortable.
Yeah.
So I will 100%. I'll 100% wear them. But I am the only self-consciousness I would have had would have been if they were 4 inches up from my ankle, and I would have rocked them anyway. But that may have, we got a bunch here.
They're coming in. They telling us about their first birdies. Somebody said something about the Cheez-It Bandits is a disaster.
Are they coming at me again?
Well, no. They said that the Afraid's been losing ever since.
Yeah, the Afraids are terrible. I haven't listened. You guys sometimes you get on your high horse and you get all mad. All you do is talk about the Afraids. No one cares about the Afraids. They say, well, a lot of people care about the Afraids because if you saw my text line this morning, everybody be like, I know Afraids talk. The Afraids. Yeah, the Afraids took the day off. And at least the one thing that I did read about the Afraids that I can at least come on board with, and Austin Riley, you damn well should be, said he's embarrassed. I don't know if they mean it. I'm really embarrassed. Let me go get on the first place, and eat cookies the whole way home, and we'll see how embarrassed you are. They start a series with the Marlins tonight. Wouldn't surprise me at all, no matter what happened. It's the Braves have had, I think, only 7 0-7 starts ever. This first 0-7 start since the year Snitker replaced Freddie Gonzalez. And they, after like an 18-39 start or something, apparently it got the Braves back on path. And look, it's because when this is happening that it's creating such desperation, panic. Really, I'm panicked. I'm not kidding. I'm not of the belief that you can lose 7 games in a row and be worth a crap. I'm not of the belief that you can go out to Los Angeles, purportedly the second best team in the National League. You have been for the last 5 years, and nobody be man enough to win one single game out of 7. Yeah, that tells me you got a beta locker room, boys. Yeah, you got a bunch of little sissy boys playing for you that got no heart or gumption or see what y'all did to me. Get me off the Afraid, Z.
62 in joggers.
Yeah, pro jogger.
Pro jogger.
Listen, I completely understand those of you that are coming back with, on the other side. But, yeah, no, I mean, I think these I call them starter joggers. I've now learned that some people just like roll them up or whatever, but these look like perfectly comfortable. The only bad thing, although Kev did say in his fishing report it's going to get chillier this week, right?
He did. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe this week, because I'm about to say we're getting into summer, I won't be wearing any pants. I wear shorts, once it gets to about 50, I prefer shorts on the golf course. Although I will say this. Golf pants technology has also been a game changer.
Yes, goodness.
Not just the joggers, but just the pants. So how comfortable they are, lightweight, So that's been a game changer when it comes to golf as well. Forum swiping. According to the Yankees broadcast last night, the torpedo bat has been used for 2 years now.
Not in games.
Yeah, in games. It's been used. It's been legal, and I guess now just more went to it, and they started the season. I love the show. Been listening to you guys for several years. I live in Jacksonville for a good percent of my life before venturing out to South Florida and now Central Florida, so listen on the app a lot. Jeff, you're in a way better mood, less angry when Dan is off, just FYI.
HFR.
I mean, I'm not the one that throws around the FR terms when the other's off, but so be it. Maybe that is part of your point there. I am happier. I'm not getting goaded and prodded and twisted and poked over every single thing we talk about. And sometimes he gets in that mood where he wants to goad and prod and twist and every single thing we do. I don't want to do it all the time. Is that fair, E.T.?
It's fair.
You're sitting. I'm not asking you to referee. Dan and I are blood brothers, man. There's nothing I can say now that's going to matter one way or the other. But to your point, this mood right here is a mood enhancement, buddy. I'm bringing like 3 times the effort and energy so that we have a fun Friday morning. That's what's happening here.
That's it.
I can't afford to go. Maybe part of that point, in fairness, is I have the ability to get that way if Hicken's here annoying me. Right?
That's right.
Jeff, you're in a way better mood when Dan is off. Just FYI. It might be a point there. You're listening to all right. I've chewed up a bunch of time. So let's get into the Tony on the hunt, especially the Jaguars offseason plan. Tony's got joggers.
I believe he does.
I ain't no believe. Yeah. I played with him in it before. Tony will rock those joggers.
I've seen him in some before.
And Tony's probably getting close to an actual 55, so he can represent the 55 number more, accurately, so to speak. All right, having a good time here on a GFL Friday. Back. It's halftime, by the way, E. And you know what they say? We're a second-half team.
Yes, sir.
So look forward to that next on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios. When it's time to saddle your horse and hitch your wagon, ride with the Frangie Show.
Let's ride!
Yeah! Afternoons on 1010XL.
Let's ride! Yeehaw!
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Plumbing problem? AC acting up? Septic tank trouble? Don't waste time calling 3 different companies. Just call Duck Duck Rooter. We offer plumbing, septic, and air conditioning services. Call 904-862-6769.
Tired of a plain and boring backyard? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop choice to beautify your home. With pavers, stonework, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, pergolas, and driveways. Visit stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Guys, your lawn's the home field. Now you can champion your St. Augustine grass. TopDressing.com just hit Jacksonville with a game-changing patented process. Aerate and transform your turf into a fairway-worthy masterpiece. Less water, shorter cuts, and the envy of every neighbor. No one else delivers a perfect 10 lawn like this. Visit TopDressing.com and dominate your block with the same process that golf courses use. Top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com. DraftSeason.com.
Draft season is here, and so is Mia's Mock Draft Mondays. And this year, we're powered by One Night Taco Stand. Each week, I'll unveil a new set of possible targets for the big cats on the 1010XL social channels and 1010XL.com. Let's taco about it on 1010XL.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, imagine having a doctor available to you any day, any time. That's my doctor, Rick Townsend. Why? Well, I've been going to Doc T for a long time. But he told me, he said, Dan, I'm going into concierge medicine. I said, what is concierge medicine? Doc said, well, look, you're not feeling well, you need an appointment, come see me. Right? You don't have to make an appointment for 2 weeks later. You got a medical emergency, here's my number 24/7. I'll call right back or get right back to you. It's like being a member of an exclusive golf club, but the cost will surprise you. Doc T, I've stayed with him because he's the best doctor I know. Navy trained, graduated from Wake Forest. So whether it's yearly physicals, office or virtual visits, cancer screenings, referrals to specialists, hospital follow-ups, Doc T's got you covered. And you have questions about this, go to mypvconcierge.com. That's concierge medicine. All your answers at mypvconcierge.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. In today's world of retail, how has a store like Underwoods stayed viable against the big national stores?
Frank, that's a question with a direct answer. At Underwoods, we've never aspired to be the biggest. What we've always tried to do is be the best. When you take this approach, there's some things that come to mind immediately, like fine quality merchandise bought by buyers that are experts, high levels of service delivered by a staff that are helpful and know what they're doing. Then there's some things that people don't really think about at all. Like the finer a gem, the more rare it is. And these gems are not mass producible because they were made by God millions of years ago. Because of that, there just aren't enough of these for the big multi-store retailers to buy and put into their merchandising schemes. So at Underwoods, we buy these finer, rarer gems and create jewelry pieces that the people in Jacksonville expect out of us.
When you want the best, it's Underwoods. Underwood Jewelers in San Marco, in Avondale, and at the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Out with the old, in with the organized. Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. Freshen up your home this spring with a custom organization solution. For a limited time, take advantage of our spring special and enjoy exclusive savings on closets, garages, home offices, and more. That's 40% off with an additional 15% off with 12-month special financing through April. Spring on this deal before it's gone. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation with Closets by Design.
Denny Thompson here. If you haven't heard, Tyson Sound & Security has a house built right inside their showroom, showcasing complete home automation and security systems. You have to see it to believe it. This setup can recognize intruders who approach your door and alerts them to leave if there's a break-in. Keep your family safe with the most state-of-the-art technology. Tyson Sound & Security, your security, home theater, and home automation experts. New showroom at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming Island.
I'm Stacy, and I want to tell you about my fogged up window fiasco at my house. I called up Mac at Baker Glass. He told me all I needed was a glass replacement. The process was so easy. All within a few days, they came out, measured, called me with an estimate, cut my glass, and came out to install the new ones. Now my view outside is fog-free thanks to Mac and his crew at Baker Glass. And my neighbors think I got some fancy new windows.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update on 1010XL, presented by the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
The Florida baseball team is on a 2-game win streak after dominating UNF by 4 runs Tuesday. The Gators slammed a season-high 5 home runs in the win, led by Bobby Bozer, who drilled a pair of homers, including a 6-inning grand slam to finish with a team-high 5 RBI. Justin Nadeau, Colby Shelton, and Brody Donay all connected for solo homers. Shelton sits atop the SEC with 14 doubles and drove his 50th career home run in the win over the Ospreys. The Gators will look to extend this streak tonight as they open a 3-game series against number 23 Vanderbilt. Liam Peterson is set to start on the mound with first pitch at 6:30. I'm Tori Edwards with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010XL. It's 72 degrees at 8 o'clock. Time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Oh. Well, Uncle Leo this morning.
They wanted
I like it. Without his shrill, that part of it. He knows it. Yeah, come on, we'll grind in, man. They weren't afraid just to go falsetto back in the day now.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, this is, snap your fingers.
Just snap your fingers when I'm walking. Hanging on a lead.
This one of those 2-step bops.
Yeah.
You don't got to do too much.
Yeah, that's right. Just a little bobbing.
Yeah, you don't got to do too much.
Bouncing a little bit.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't dance the night away. This is Phoebe cutting a rug this weekend. That'll be a congratulations to the tournament parties.
That's a dress-up affair? Like you
yeah.
Okay.
By the way, I think I'm going to run back to the San Antonio wedding, and I'll let you see just what you're dealing with here.
Yeah?
Yeah. You'll be impressed. Matt, you might ask to wear my outfit at one of your soirees later in the year.
I'd be proud.
Yeah, you might be. Listen. We're going to get into the hunt. The Jaguars have started their off-season kind of reality show behind the scenes. It's better than ever because we are so much more familiar with Tony than we have been with anyone else. And it's also good because it's a get to know you with some of the others. I say this flying blind. I haven't watched it yet. I will, and we've cut up some of it, of the first episode that dropped last night on Jaguars.com, I guess, YouTube, all those fun places. So we're going to get to that in just a second. I got to clear something up here, E.
Okay.
From the text line, Design My Lifetime Enclosures, the Cheez-It curse is real. Since the snack food disaster, the Afraids can't win, and Lagway is broken. Jeff's got to find a way to release us from this bad juju. I didn't do anything wrong. What did I do?
You was like looking out for somebody.
Right. All I did was say, hey, man, we got a Cheez-It problem. And then these guys went all, I didn't insult anyone. I didn't.
You called nobody out?
I didn't call anybody out. We just had a little fun with it. 7 bags of Cheez-Its. And, somebody might have a Cheez-It addiction. And that was it. I said it with all love. I don't care how many Cheez-Its you eat in reality. So, no, I am not going to do anything to, quote, turn it around. The Afraids are on their own, and the Gators are mismanaging the Lagway, at least freedom of information, not me. So I refuse. I'm taking a standee. I've placed no sort of blame or guilt or bad feelings about the Cheez-It intervention. It came from a place of love. I can see the way it's being thrown back that we're still not over it yet.
Definitely came from the heart.
Yeah. So there you go. So, no, I'm not going to do a dadgum thing. It's not my fault that the Braves are, playing like a bunch of Eskimos that have never seen a baseball before. Very annoying. All right. So, on to the hunt. Jack's done this for 3 years, right?
Least,
all of these NFL teams have their own video departments now, right? And their own, they release so much of their own content. I don't like it. I like it in some ways. It gives you the freedom of the cliche, right? You can always have sound, coaches' mouths moving and words coming out. But when the team is asking questions of the team, come on, man. How about Dan and I? Interviewed Dan and I about the drill one morning. Let me know what kind of reviews we get. That's what it is. Imagine if we came in today, E.T. interviewed Dan and I after the drill about the drill and then posted it. I mean, is that any different from a team's reporter interviewing their coach and then the team posting it?
That's valid.
I mean, so whatever. It is what it is. But this is, there's not a whole lot to manufacture or manipulate with this really popular style, and that is like the reality TV style. They make a reality show, and in this case, for the Jaguars, they call it the Hunt. Now, again, you've watched bits and pieces because you've been putting together some stuff. Can you give me the overall kind of synopsis of episode 1 of the Hunt?
It starts out with Combine. So it opens up, I'm not going to no spoiler, but, they start out at Combine and Shotgun, he's like, all right, I look forward to this journey. And then you're getting a little bit of a shot and you're getting a lot of Big Bo.
Okay.
Like the process ever since then.
And which is awesome. And Tony, by the way, driving in, feel free to call. You still got our number? To Big Bo, you still got our number here, right? I mean, is there a friendlier media in town than your boys here at the drill? You think maybe we could ask some of these softball questions that are being asked, huh? Can we? Hello? Huh? Not asking for behind-the-scenes footage. We don't need it anymore thanks to the Hunt. So you've pulled a few clips involving Tony or one, or what do we got in there? What are we going to be hearing?
This is the one about, him at home.
This is Tony's home life, ladies and gentlemen. So get a good look at this. And this is the fun and, frolicking you're missing at the Casa de Baselli.
I do all the work, and then I come home and do more work. This is what I do. Servant. Serve the family. Well, I always do dishes every night. Ashley, what's up?
I'm not going to dishes every night.
I do.
Yeah.
I delegate the dishes to my children every night.
This is giving back to that one video that Ashley did.
Hey, listen, Peanut Gallery.
They know you better than anyone.
When she come and do the dishes. Hey, Michael, you could speak up and help somebody out.
Of living,
I don't know what to say. I feel like I don't have
cooking ever.
too much of a say.
Is that
There's a lot of
Tarquin?
complaining here.
Was that?
Is that Michael? Is that Tarquin?
I believe so.
Tackle?
I shop.
Yeah, that's enough. This is all contrived. That ain't how Tony talks to people when stuff's going wrong. Stop it.
He knew the cameras were rolling.
You got a nice little camera there. Did you give a little sweet kiss, Tony? I know you, bro. Come on, man. That ain't how. That's not how. That's not how. I'm not doing the dishes conversation goes in the house. Okay, not my house, not East's house, not Tony's house. Anyway, the fun part of that, we have a little. We kid because we care. I wonder where that Tarquin goes. Where does he fall? He's a prospect, isn't he? Tony's daughter is married to the former Gator offensive lineman Michael Tarquin, isn't that his name? And he went out to. He transferred initially to USC, and I think he ended up at Oklahoma. I wonder where his projections are. At that level, that offensive line certainly needs some toughness involved in it. But anyway, the Hunt, the more interesting stuff I think from the Hunt is that process part. I mean, it's all fun and games, eavesdropping on family dinner time. I don't take a whole lot of entertainment value out of that, to be honest. I mean, I'd rather see the inner workings inside the stadium, right? The meetings at the Combine, and again, without giving away too many spoilers, just. I like to see how the football product is coming together. I don't really give a darn who's doing dishes and mowing yards. But it's part of the fun. I'm not killing it. It is, of all the stuff that Jaguars.com and the Jaguars people do, including the schedule releases, and this is the best thing they do, to me. And that's not from a guy who is just, right, like, there are folks that were, like, counting down until that thing was released last night.
Yeah.
And you can see why. It's a good watch. It's a good watch. Continuing to bounce around some of the topics we've had this morning. My first birdie was at First Tee on Golf Air. My first ever hole, my first ever round I ever played.
Oh, wow.
On the drivable first hole, I drove the green and within 8 feet and had a 2-putt birdie. Somebody told you and this is fair. The putting, putt, if you're trying to make that first birdie.
Okay.
I said, and the guy who sent it said, man, I can get it on a par 5 and 2 and make a bogey. That'd be a 4-putt.
Have you hit an albatross before?
I have come really close on 16 at Jointed Creek. An albatross is when you go 3 under par on a hole. It's when you make a 2 on a par 5 or a hole-in-one on a par 4. And I did one time at Jointed Creek, and this is the closest I've ever come. I mean, it's not easy to make an eagle, but there's albatross is almost exclusively will come on par 5s where you can Although either way, you got to jar that second shot. They're really hard to make.
Yeah.
But at Julington on 16, which is a par 5, and it's a shortish one if you manage the tee shot correctly. And I hit a 3-wood into that hole that finished about an inch from the hole.
Okay.
So and that would have been a 2 on a par 5. So
what's the difference between the albatross and the eagle?
Eagle's 2 under par, and an albatross
Okay.
is 3 under par.
That's you.
It's hard to get 3 under par on a, on mini golf balls, right? You can't do it on a par 3, obviously. So either you get a 2 on a par 5 or you ace a par 4. And some of the par 4s, they make, the drivable par 4s. Those will roll in every now and then as well. People are like consumed now with the joggers. We've also done that. Jeff, don't let the old man in. You do you. I identify as 55 as well. What type of shoes do you wear with joggers? Golf shoes is the answer, friend. You can wear art sneakers around town. I mean, I think they're joggers because you can literally jog in them. No,
right. So they got to be low cut though. I don't want to see y'all with joggers and high shoes above your ankles.
Oh no,
no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they got to be low cut.
Here's a guy that wishes he had joggers. 32 degrees from Chicago this morning. I missed that 904 weather. 62 rocking 4 pair of joggers. Let me tell you who is going to immediately. By the way, did we make the Afraid's logo, or did someone else?
Guggen
and then sent it to us?
Yeah, Guggen was listening to us, and he photoshopped
That was good.
It was.
That was good stuff. The Braves logo that has the A and then the tomahawk under it, one of our, because there's one going around right now that says A, consonant. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Jack A. There's one going around, and then we've had one that has the A and it spells out Afraids because that's the opposite of brave. And what the Braves are doing, or what the Afraids are doing right now, has nothing to do with bravery or courage or manhood or testosterone or competition or anything of any competitive value. They're a bunch of losers. That's what they are. And go lose 80 in the first half, you jackhole losers. No heart losers. What a bunch of donkeys, man. My favorite team's a bunch of donkeys again. How did that happen?
Oh, dear.
He freaking Hall, Atlanta. Way to go out west and represent. You have any competitive identity at all. Good Lord. Now look what you've done. All right, I'm going to get off.
Yo, E, there are no pictures on scorecards. He's right, but you still want to look decent, though.
Yeah, for sure. No, listen, style is a big part of a lot of people's game.
Yes.
And I'm cool with those people. It's not I'm not going to look terrible, but I'm not going to put a lot of, effort and thought into it. But for some people, style is half of the name of the game, no? I got one of my buddies I would not have pinned as a jogger wearer. He said recently turned 60 old, and he has multiple pair of joggers.
Yes,
joggers
sir.
are in, man.
Yes, sir.
I almost feel like I damn need to break them out and wear them today.
Yeah, and you got to crank them up a little bit, man.
90 degrees, bro. I'm wearing shorts. You guys are... and I'm not going to get into some of the other. I don't fare well when we do this back and forth over and over. So I'm not getting into the value of FR this or FR that. We're just going to have fun and get through our 4 hours.
Right?
40 years old, bought my first pair, which surely means the kids are about to pivot to something different. That's so fair too. Here we go. This is from our boy. LFG Scott over there says, you're in a lovely mood, Pross. Let's trade Acuna. Oh, why are you trying to put me in a bad mood today?
Hey, Scotty.
There you go. My best score was a 71. Of course, that was at putt-putt at Regency.
That's my type of guy right there.
Hey, like you said, gotta putt, man.
That's what Dog told me.
Prosser, if you're not with us when we're 0-7, don't jump on the bandwagon when we go 61-91. 71-91, he corrected. Listen, this is where you need me on that wall, Braves fans, and you guys are actually how I acted on Monday, and I get it. I feel you. This baseball season is over. This is not a terrible team. They're weak. They're weak little cowards, little yellow bellies, so they'll go out early, but they'll find a way to win their 85 games. I believe that. It's going to be ugly. It's never going to be any fun, is it? 0-7 is to ruin the first 2 months of the season. A constant fight, because now you're going to put more emphasis once they win 3 in a row somewhere and they get within 5 of 500. When they lose 2 or 3 in a row, it's just going to make it that much worse. This 0-7 is going to haunt Braves fan until the middle of summer. And by the way, no one cares. You think the rivals are feeling sorry for Braves fan? We walk around full of ourselves for 25, 30 years? You think the rivals, you think the Marlins like, oh, poor Atlanta? No, let's make them 0-8, boys. And they're going to get what they deserve. And this is what happened when you go to battle with a bunch of just C-listers, man. These just aren't type A dudes. We don't have any dogs, man. We got a bunch of little kitty cats on that Braves team. Come sit in your lap, stroke behind the ear. If everything's going good, they'll purr. If not, they're going to run hide under the bed. There's Shohei. Let me go hide under the bed like a scared little kitty cat. Look what I've done. Huh? 2 minutes of not talking about the afraids in the book. You're listening to The Drill on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
The Drill. From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Our reward is that justice has been done.
Wherever there is injustice, you will find us. Wherever liberty is threatened, you will find
1010XL. Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love it. You shouldn't have, but I'm glad you did.
The love that a little box from Beard's Diamonds can hold is something that those big box jewelry stores can't understand. As Town Center's only locally owned jeweler with international connections, Beard's Diamonds knows that our little boxes are full of promises, celebrations, milestones, and magic. Big box jewelers only have big overhead and big markups, but Beard's Diamonds sees the big picture of the little box. That's why you can look to us for a great selection of dazzling diamonds and designer jewelry, and a listen-first approach to helping you turn what's in a little box into a big part of your special someone's life. Come experience the local, loyal, and helpful difference of Beard's Diamonds in Town Center. When it comes to helping you celebrate with beautiful jewelry, Beard's Diamonds thinks outside the big box stores. And that makes a big difference. Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
Jags fans, here's your chance to score a trip to Green Bay for round one of draft night. Through the Everbank Draft Night Experience Sweepstakes, one lucky winner and a guest will be there live and in person to see the Jaguars make their first pick. To enter, visit everbank.com/draft by April 4th. That's everbank.com/draft. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 3/3/25 to 4/4/25. For official rules, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/draft. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. The coolest cats in town. Setting the standard in our hometown. Quality service, the best around. Coolidge is the cat that cares about your heating and about your air. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. The coolest cats in town.
Gang, it's one of life's most important decisions. If you're 18 years or older, you just got married, you just got divorced, you have children, you likely want to take care of your family. Of course you do. That's why I'm here to tell you about Matt Hinson and the Hinson Law Firm. I'm not the attorney, Matty is, but we both want to know, have you done your last will? Man, Dan, I don't know why you bring that up. That's depressing. No, it's not. Something you got to take care of, something you want to do because you work hard for your money. You want to get the money to the people that you choose. Planning also helps minimize income, gift, and estate taxes as well. Right? You want to have as much money as you can for your loved ones. Matt Hinson will listen. He'll help you with your decisions. He'll provide you info needed so you're at ease with your choice. It's the Hinson Law Firm. Real easy to get a hold of Matty. 527-1700, 904-527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. Gang, don't let the state decide your fate.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code REDEEM to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code REDEEM for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code REDEEM for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
It's time to elevate your game night. Head to Best Bet, your premier destination for poker, card games, and hospitality. With locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine, we have a seat ready for you. Whether you're a seasoned poker player or just starting out, we have you covered with poker games of all limits and easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em. And it's not just poker. With delicious dining, lively bars, and big screen events, there's something for everyone at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com and ante up for fun.
I'm Hacker, and I'll get you more Gator chomps during the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. New episodes drop every Friday. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
Tax season is here, and your refund can go further at Big Chief Tire. Frank Frangie here. Put the extra cash to work by investing in your vehicle, whether it's overdue maintenance, brake repairs, or new tires. Their skilled technicians will help you get the most out of every dollar. With 5 Jacksonville locations, fair prices, and trusted service, Big Chief Tire has everything you need to hit the road with confidence. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com. And let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, slow your roll. It's time for Jeff's Gator Growl. Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Well, I have plenty to growl about. We're going to stick to basketball in this case, as the Gators, as you probably know, you'll hear it here on 1010XL 92.5. They will take on Auburn in the first round of the Final Four. I thought it'd be a little, be interesting to go back. This is the 6th Final Four. Florida, by the way, is climbing the charts. I mean, 6, there's not but 10, 12 programs in all of college basketball that have been to more than 6 Final Fours. So it's been a rapid growth chart for Florida since Lon Kruger took them to their first Final Four in 1994. This will be 6 now in the last 30 years, which, do the math. You can go to Final Four one every 5 years. And I haven't done necessarily on that path, but it's been close. They went to a Final Four in 94. They went to another one in 2000. They went back-to-back in 06, 07. They went back again in 14, was it? When was Big Pat Young's year? Oh. Sounds maybe 14-ish.
Yeah.
And now back again, and it's been a while. Been 10 years. Todd Golden, look, my only, and I don't feel this at all, this is in no way a prediction. It's a smaller roster. It's easier to maneuver. But is it a comp-y to at least be wary of coaches that are doing it almost exclusively through the transfer portal, using FSU and Mike Norvell as an example? I know it's a different sport, but Mike Norvell built FSU football on this same track that Todd Golden's on.
He did.
He came in. He wasn't great the first year, sub 500, got a little bit better, then had a special year. So this would be the special year, and that special year was followed up with what? 2-10. And this is not a prediction of doom and gloom. And again, I think it's a different animal. Here's what else is going to happen with Florida and making this Final Four run and seeing these guards develop. Florida now is going to come and play on the high school scene without having to try as hard. Now if you got a guy who's from Montverde or Atlanta, anywhere in the South, you're going to at least probably get some attention. There's one death scenario here for Florida basketball. It has nothing to do with this year's team.
What's that?
Well, if those 3 guards and Condon and Hauk leave,
Ooh.
Yeah, good luck being an NIT team next year. I guess we'll really find out about the coaching chops. But if you lose, all those guys and Halk and Condon, now I think Halk and Condon stay. I think they should. I think they could position themselves from being draftable to being first rounders. And, every time you do that, it goes up. Florida into, as I said, the Final Four for the 6th time. So here's how the Final Fours have gone. And I was at a number of these. I'll add in, my perspective on some of those. 1994 was the first trip to the Final Four. And I remember going to that one, I got in I'm 7?
Okay.
I'm working here in this building for the old Channel 17. And we had just Gator basketball had really never done anything. There had hardly even been any NCAA tournaments before they went all the way to the Final Four with Lon Kruger. Honestly, and how many tournament appearances did we have, Gator fans, before then? Florida went for the first time in they went like 86 through 80, 87 through 89 maybe. And then in the year, nothing. Then DeVoe came in. They went absolutely. Ahab took them to the bottom of the ocean, and then Kruger kind of slowly built them back. And out of nowhere, they went to the Final Four in 1994. I went up there, ET, and saw them play Duke in the Final Four matchup.
Ooh, what a treat!
Yeah, do you know who the Duke star was?
When was it? It was
94.
94.
A matter of fact, if I could pick all of the Duke stars from back in the day, I think I may have picked seeing this guy. I think he probably is the best of the Duke players. Is
it Grant Hill?
Grant Hill.
Okay.
Yeah, Grant Hill was on that team. Florida actually led that game. That Florida team was Andrew DeClerc and Dimitri Hill and Dan Cross and Craig Brown and some other contributors. And Florida led. That Duke team had Grant Hill and Cherokee Parks. Remember him?
I don't.
Yeah, Cherokee Park's one of those, Duke's always got some 6'11", 7-foot white dude. Every year. Danny Ferry, Christian Laettner, Cherokee Park, just down the line. And so anyway, that Final Four in 1994, Gators had a lead. I believe they led at half even. They lost a pretty close game, so it was one and done. I drove it up to Charlotte and turned around the next day and drove it home. But we didn't even know what to think, and it didn't feel like Florida was positioned for a real long run of dominance in basketball. I'll fast forward a year later, ET, and I've told this story before, but I'm down. Florida is desperately trying to recruit Vince Carter.
Yeah.
They've been to the Final Four the year before. The program is on the rise. If you are going to be a legitimate year-to-year contender, you've got to be able to get that kind of talent. And when Vince Carter, I was at a game down in Daytona where Myron Anthony and Fletcher was playing Vince Carter in Daytona Beach. What are they? Seabreeze? Mainland.
Uh-huh.
And Lon Kruger was in the gym. And at this point, I've been able to, we'd been covering Kruger as they'd gotten good. We used to go down and go live from, the big games. Midweek, Kentucky's to town. Lon Kruger would go live with you. It was fun to do sports back in the day. Guys did a lot more. Like I remember Kruger was sitting up at the top of the gym in the bleachers, really no one around him paying much attention. And I went up there and talked to him a little bit just about how important. And he, admitted that that's kind of why Lon Kruger left. You go to the Final Four, you're playing Kentucky, there's only 8,000 in the building, and you can't get Vince Carter to come. What am I doing here?
Mm-hmm.
And Billy changed that. Billy was able to change that. He made basketball different in Florida. His style, Billy Ball, his youth, the superstars that he was bringing in, and the success they were having. Florida now has a complete different ceiling when it comes to basketball. Even with that Final Four just a year later, the program didn't have any juice, didn't have any energy. 2000 was a fun one. I was at the beginning of that journey. I went all the way through the Elite Eight into the Final Four. I think Hick went on up to, was it maybe Indianapolis that Final Four was in? But what I remember about that run for the Gators, I was at the first round game. We were in Winston-Salem. You know who I was sitting next to for that game, E?
Who's that?
As a young Cub reporter, she had not really, she was probably still a student reporter at the time. Erin Andrews. Yeah, Erin Andrews was a Gator graduate. In fact, she was dating Greg Stolt, who was a Gator basketball player. At that time. So, yeah, that's how far back. That's 2000. That's in Winston-Salem. But the thing about that one was they almost got bit by that 12-5 upset. Florida was a 5 seed, and Butler gave them everything they wanted. They had to go to overtime. Mike Miller hit a shot that hung on the rim and fell. And then they got hot. And they beat Illinois, who was coached by Lon Kruger. That was fun. Then I went up to Syracuse, and Florida beat Duke, and maybe the best basketball game I've ever seen a Florida team play. And they've won titles. But that team really showed off what they are, with that performance against Duke. Was a 1 seed. They were really good. In fact, when we're talking about, remember those Ken Palm teams, the most efficient teams of all time?
Yep.
That's right around that number one all-time team at Duke was either 99 or 2000. So either way, that's a really good Duke team. They were a significant favorite. I think Kenyon Weeks got hot that game, but Florida had so many weapons, man. And like Brett Nelson was incredible, and then he just fell off the map, but they had just 10, 12 guys they could beat you with. And they did. They beat them. They beat Duke, and then they beat Oklahoma State. Then they beat North Carolina in the Final Four, ultimately lost to Michigan State, so they're still looking for that first title. All right, then comes the next round of success with Billy. That was the back-to-back Natty titles. 06 started here in Jacksonville. I caught that part of the Florida run. They went on to win that title. I don't even know where that championship was played, man. Is that west somewhere? They dominated the field, though. Outscored their opponents by an average of 16 a game on their way to wins over South Al, Milwaukee, Villanova, George Mason, and UCLA. Beat UCLA 73-57 in the title game, led by as much as 20. They steamwalked. They were kind of like that UConn team that won back-to-back. This Florida was. In 07, they won back-to-back. I was at those. We talked about that yesterday. That was also the birth morning of 1010XL. That Monday of the national championship game, Florida and Ohio State. I forgot. You may forget what a good day Greg Oden had that day. He had a big game against Orford and Noah, but it wasn't enough. That was a good Ohio State team. It had Conley, had Daquan Cook.
Wasn't
Oden?
Evan Turner, was he on that team?
Nah, I think he came after that.
Okay.
He may have been a freshman, but I think he came after that. That team, though, waltzed through the field. They won back-to-back titles. Florida went back again in, it was 2014. That was probably the most dominant regular season in Gator history. They went 18-0 in conference, won every single SEC game. But they lost to UConn in a game in the regular season up in UConn that you feel like they should have won. They were a heavy favorite. And, boy, they couldn't wait to play UConn again. And lo and behold, they played UConn in the Final Four. And what was so awful and painful about that game is that Florida built a big lead in that game. They came out of the gates like 17-4 or something. And all downhill from there. UConn sent them home, and that was the last trip to the Final Four. We'll see how they do Saturday night. That's your Gator Growl, and you can catch the Gators and Auburn in the Final Four opener Saturday night at 6:09. I think our coverage starts at 5:39. It's a GFL Friday. You're listening to The Drill.
The Drill.
From the DivorcemenOnly.com studios.
Go full throttle for a photo finish.
Look at this! Whoa!
Sunday at Darlington.
Checkered flag is out.
Powered by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234 and 1010XL.
The magical basketball ride continues for Gators fans this weekend, and now you can remember all 34 Gators wins with a full-size Season to Remember basketball for only $149.95, featuring scores of every game along with embossed logos, championship history, and more on panels of the ball. Order now. Get one of only 5,000 licensed balls. Call 800-345-2868, 800-345-2868, or visit nikcosports.com.
Enhance your home with Renewal by Anderson's superior craftsmanship and timeless design. Right now, get $300 off all windows or $825 off patio doors. Plus, zero down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months, but this offer expires April 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hey, gang, Hicken here from my friends at Beaches Dermatology, man. You know I've been talking about Beaches Dermatology for a while, man. Doctors Boudreaux and Metz, man, fixtures in the Jacksonville community. Dr. Fader with the Mohs surgery. Staff at Solano Road, always like to give them a shout-out because they've always been great to me, take good care of me. I've been going there for a lot of years, man. A lot of different locations now to serve you. Beaches Dermatology wants to remind you, though, even in the winter months, man, that sun comes out, you're playing golf, man, cover up those ears, man. Put on that hat. Long sleeve dry fit, whatever it takes. Protect that skin from the sun. If something should show up on the skin and you say, that looks different, get it checked out. Don't wait. That's the key. Don't wait. Get it checked out. Go online at beachesdermatology.com. Make an appointment today online at beachesdermatology.com.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home this weekend at the newly renovated VyStar Ballpark. Join us tonight for fireworks and tomorrow at 6:35 for more fireworks. Presented by Oaks RV Resort. Catch on the field and free face painting before the game on Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day at 3:05. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable family fun.
What could you do with an extra $75,000 right now, or even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto is the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold hard cash, so you can pay off all your credit cards or start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. There's virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, often no appraisals. Listen, the average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. Use it. One client got $150,000 out and paid off all their credit cards, 2 car loans, and a personal loan, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,500. You can get approved in as little as 1 day, so act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. Get the money you need for anything at 904-999-1508 or just go to LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Masters is coming to 1010XL
at Augusta.
And Fantasy Golf on 1010XL returns. Win $1,000 of jewelry from Beard's Diamonds. Teed up by Pella Windows and Doors. Go to 1010XL.com now.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, every day feels like the weekend. Fresh, never frozen chicken wings, tossed in over 30 bold flavors, paired with ice-cold beer and handcrafted cocktails, all in a laid-back, beachy atmosphere. And with every game on the big screens, it's the ultimate escape. And you're home for sports, too. Great food, cold drinks, and all the games. That's Hurricane Grill and Wings. Escape the ordinary and find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Go to WM.com/Duval.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
E, what have you thought of Open Forum Friday today? Has it just gone off the rails?
It's on and popping.
Yeah, good. How's the audience taking it so far?
Oh, they booming.
Okay, good.
I ain't got no. Normally you have those. I thought
Yeah, we kind of keep it sports related, but yeah, we've gone down some different paths. Man, we're having some fun. Got some cooler weather coming this week. Looking forward to that. I'll wear those joggers. Okay, that's enough. All right, from the text line, this is fair. Now you are turning your good mood into a bad one. Stop talking about our afraids until we at least get a W, LOL. That's fair. I've now recalibrated. Yeah, that was totally fair. The afraids have put me in they put me in a blustery, awful mood. So I don't need that. So dang it to hockey sticks with the afraids. They've got 3 against the Marlins this week. I may watch Sunday afternoon's game. Maybe. I won't watch an inning today or tomorrow. Now, I've got other stuff going on both today and tomorrow, and that will feed into it. But I'm happy to not be able to watch them. I hate them. And I know hate's a strong word. That's why I use it. The water game in this country is out of control, Lee.
Okay.
When you go to your local sip and go, you ought not have 41 water options.
Bruh.
There ought to be this water and that water, the cheap water and the expensive one, however you want to do it.
Crazy.
I mean, they've got everything from Aquafina to Dasani to Zephyr Hills to Circle K to Daily, just down the line.
Gatorade has their own
Smart Water and Fiji water, and it's just craziness.
Essentia.
And how one 33-ounce bottle of water costs $6.95 and another one costs $2.49 also is very strange to me. I'm not big on the water health knowledge. I'm not big on the, safety and health standards of water.
Right.
So I buy the cheapest water is what I do. There's people like, I can't drink, this water. It tastes, it all tastes the same to me.
Except for that, there's one.
Yeah, that's right.
Is it Dasani?
Dasani, y'all say?
Yeah, that's the only one that tastes different.
Yeah, I don't know. See,
other than that, it all tastes the same.
To me, they don't. If you poured a bottle of water into a cup and had me drink it, there is no way in the world that I'd be able to tell you what I'm drinking.
For real?
Yeah. But it's just way out of control. Water's water, man. Let me tell you how water's meant to be drank. Out of a daggum hose pipe. There's your first answer.
That's how I grew up.
That's how we ate it, man. Or drank it back in the day.
Oh.
But anyway, so I stopped today at the Sip and Go. I get my boiled eggs, my banana. Chilled today, by the way.
Yes, sir.
And I decided to just, pick up some water. Now, are you trying too hard? If the water, let me tell you what I actually bought. I just bought a bottle of water. Nothing fancy about the damn thing. But why do I... Now that I'm paying attention, and by the way, it probably fell into the cheaper category because I already said that's how I roll. But no, this isn't water, E. This is momentum.
Ooh.
Alkaline water, 9.5 pH. Ionized water with electrolytes added for taste.
That boy fancy.
What the hell, dude?
That boy fancy.
I got 9.5 pH. That's great if I'm a swimming pool, I reckon. I mean... Are we making too much water? It's a fair question.
Your boy got the Good and Gather purified drinking water.
Right, Good and Gather.
Easy.
Who's ever heard of that?
Easy.
Yeah, purified. I don't know the difference, by the way, between purified, spring.
I'm with you, bro.
Heated, cooled. I mean, they got everything. But no, not me. I got, it's just, and by the way, I mean, you're just water, friend. Let me just talk to you right now. You look in the mirror, you're acting like a Braves baseball player having won the World Series. You're just water. You're not momentum, 9.5 alkaline pH, added electrolytes for taste. Let me give you the taste test. You ready? Hold on. The taste test of the momentum alkaline, 9.5 pH, electrolyte added water. You ready? Tastes like water.
Tastes like water.
Yeah. Amazing. Tastes like water. All right, I've had it with y'all's shenanigans when it comes to whether or not, so I'm changing it. What are we? We're heavy now, E?
No, we good.
Is this headed to the 50 break?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I thought I was motored behind with all this.
We good.
Free flowing forum of information that we've had today. What
we gonna do? What you trying to do, champ?
Here's what we're gonna do. We've been talking a lot of Gator basketball. Right? We've been talking about the Final Four. We've been talking about the NCAA tournament. So I thought in the theme, in the spirit of whether or not, I thought that we could play Who's Got More.
Ooh.
And the way Who's Got More is going to work is I'm going to give you some college basketball options to which the answer will be one of the options has more. Therefore, who's got more?
Who's got more?
Right. Now, it can be on a variety of things. I need to go to, I had it up, and now my computer has crashed. But 64110, what are we playing for, E? Tell them what do we got to give away?
Since we've also been in a golf mood today, I'm going to give out a first tour tee card.
Okay.
It's getting you discounts at local golf courses all over Duval County.
Okay. Now, I can do this a variety of different ways. Again, waiting on the phone lines to fill up here, 6411010. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. He's answering the phone. Let's do this. I'm going to do this a couple different ways. Yes, that's what I meant. Thank you very much. All right, we're gonna combo up a couple things here. All right, we get this should be good. Is this the overall leaders? Okay, this isn't right. This is old, which is a problem. Because I did something the other day. I mean, what happened to, like, coaches, tourney wins? I mean, here we go. All right, we're getting. He's getting them lined up here. I'm just looking at. We're going to go with these two. I got two different. This is crazy. What's in a name? I'm looking through some Final Four. History. E.T. There was a coach in the 60s that made 4 Final Four appearances. 60, 61, 62, and 68. What's in a name? E.T., there's a dude that made 4 Final Four appearances as a coach of Ohio State in the 60s. Right. And I bring it up because you know what the dude's name was?
What's his name?
Ready? Fred Taylor. All right, let's do this. We got some lined up on the phone. Gonna give away the PGA Tour card. All right, who's got more? We're gonna play who's got more, in keeping in theme of March Madness and the college basketball finale here, the home stretch, the last 4 games. Give me some basketball music, E.
Okay,
ready to go, man.
What you mean?
We're gonna go out to Mayport. We're gonna get Daniel. Daniel, are you there?
Yes.
All right, Daniel, here's what you got to get 2 of these right, by the way.
Hey, Daniel, you got to
make it take it. Let's make it take it. You get 2 right and you're in. Which of these 2 coaches had more Final Four appearances in teams? Jim Boeheim or Denny Crum? More Final Fours. Jim Boeheim. Jim Boeheim had 5. Denny Crum had 6.
Ooh,
I'm sorry, Daniel. Listen to me. You're an excellent sport. You played the game how it was designed to be played. I appreciate your efforts. Did you see what he did there?
He did, yeah.
He didn't jack around.
No, he didn't.
Act like he was Google searching. I asked the man a question, and he stood up and answered the question.
You asked, he answered.
That's what happened.
Let's go.
Got to get 2 right.
Come on.
Again, this is make it, take it. You're at the line for 1 and 1.
1 and 1.
You missed that first one. You go. All right, let's go out to the beaches, and David is ready to play. David, you there?
Let's go, Mind Freaks. Let's get it.
All right, here we go. Which of these coaches has more NCAA tournament wins? John Calipari or Tom Izzo?
Izzo.
Izzo has 58 and Calipari has 59. I'm sorry, my friend. Another 1-pointer.
Deuces.
Deuces. Yeah, see, now we're in sports if I really want to get it to you. Let's go to the SJC, one of my brethren there, and bring in Joe. Good morning, Joe. Joe, you there? I think Joe went on the other lines talking to his girl or something. Thinks I'm just going to stand here all day. Is that what he thinks happened? There you go.
Okay.
Attaboy.
I'm ready.
Attaboy. Which of these 2 coaches has more tournament wins? Bobby Knight or Jim Calhoun?
Jim Calhoun.
That's a winner. Jim Calhoun had 49. Bobby Knight had 47.
All right, Joe.
So, Joe, to keep it in the SJC, let's see what we got. Who has more Final Four appearances? John Wooden or Mike Krzyzewski? Who has more Final Four appearances? Wooden or Coach K?
Coach K.
What did you say? Coach K?
Coach K.
Yeah, John Wooden has 12. Coach Mike Krzyzewski Has 13. We got a winner.
Okay,
So Joe will keep it there on the 210 as we get you fired up for the Final Four. For Todd Golden, it'll be Final Four appearance number 1. Man, it's hard to go to a Final Four. In fact, I don't know if this thing is... Yeah, here's Billy Donovan. Billy's got 4. These are Final Four appearances. Pitino 5, Calipari. Active coaches, it's Tom Izzo by a pretty good little margin. Izzo has been to 8 Final Fours. They haven't been since 2019. You know what's a big story in the tournament, by the way? I haven't talked about it, especially because Florida has been doing so well, is the struggles of the Big Ten. You know when the last time the Big Ten won a natty?
Oh.
The Big Ten hasn't won a natty since 2000. Michigan State beat Florida.
Mateen Cleave?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a long time, man. And you know what? If there was one since then, excuse me, it's been at least 20 years. I'm pretty sure it was that Michigan State team, though. And also, remember that fantastic start the Big Ten got off to in this year's tournament? Weren't they like 11 or 12-0 in their first games? And yet here we are in the Final Four. No Big Ten in the Final Four. That's also been a problem. They've had fewer Final Four teams than the ACC, SEC, and Big 12. So the Big Ten reeling at least just a little bit. Tom Izzo leads the way with active coaches. He has 8 Final Four appearances. Pitino, they're giving him 5 because they're saying 2 of them were taken back. No, you get to 7. That's ridiculous. You can't keep these guys banned under these old rules that the guys now don't have to follow. That doesn't make any sense to me. Calipari has 4. Can I make an appeal to Billy Donovan to come back to college for one last try?
Oh, yeah?
Can I make that appeal to him? Coach, come back to college. Billy Ball is college made. Stop it. The Bulls stink. You look so disinterested. Y'all seen Billy Donovan late?
No.
He ain't Billy the Kid no more. It's not some slicked back brown hair.
Yeah.
It's long, gray. He's stubbled, barely coaches.
Oh, man.
And he just looks out there like, oh, what am I doing? No chance. What is the worst thing in coaching, no matter what level? When you have no chance to win. Like when you can't win at all, it's got to be really hard to motivate yourself. So anyway, but by the way, speaking of the Final Four, Izzo 8, Pitino 7, Calipari has 6. I'm counting the ones they took away from these guys. Just their teams were there. I saw them. They count. Pitino and Calipari, that's 8 for Izzo, 7 for Pitino, 6 for Calipari, and then Kelvin Sampson's in his 3rd. Bill Self's been to 4. Again, they say 3. They take 1 back. Mark Few in Gonzaga. And all those years of success, just 2 Final Fours. And then you got guys that are like, really? Been to multiples. Danny Hurley, right? He got him back-to-back years. Jim Larinaga, who stepped down at Miami. He's been to the Final Four twice. Once with George Mason, once with the Canes. Thad Matta. Remember him?
Thad Matta.
Thad Matta, by the way, was the coach on that Ohio State team that Florida beat. I digress. A free-flowing forum of Friday information. It's at GFL Friday. You're listening to The Drill.
Reflecting the passion of Jags fans. This is 1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
For Florida heat is no joke. Is your air conditioner ready for it? At Duck Duck Air Conditioning, we've got a crazy offer just for you. We're giving away free AC inspections to our wonderful customers who now call and schedule. One of our expert techs will come look at your AC unit and make recommendations to ensure it's running at peak performance. But you must act today. A deal this good won't last forever. Call 904-862-6769. Duck Duck Air Conditioning. DuckDuckAC.com. Any required repairs are not included in the inspection.
Hey, don't you buy a diamond in Jacksonville until you check out Beard's Diamonds. You're going to see a much bigger selection, higher quality than those chain store diamonds, and you'll get a better price. Beard's is different, man. It's Jacksonville. Locally owned for more than 40 years. Great reputation for value and honesty and transparency. And, man, they take care of our local customers. Free lifetime warranty, free maintenance, free sizing, free cleaning, free insurance appraisals. They don't nickel and dime you. Everything's included at no charge. Beards loves our local heroes in uniform. Military, police, firefighters, nurses. 25% off every day, every purchase. And here's something cool. Nobody at Beards is paid on commission, so no pressure to sell you. Take my advice and visit Beards. Get to know our local owners. Let them teach you the inside tricks on how to buy a diamond the smart way. Not just engagement rings. Case after case of gorgeous everyday jewelry. Shop local, shop Beards, and get so much more for your money. Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser share the huddle with Freddie T. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers.
Fred Taylor, he's a candidate to go the distance.
On 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
ET here, and it's time for the Taste of Golf at TPC Sawgrass, April 23rd. Join me for fine cuisine from chefs from the top golf clubs in our area. Craft cocktails, games, and unique auction items will be present. This is one of the most impactful charitable events in our area. Come network with a sophisticated audience who's passionate about golf and its values, while impacting the youth in our community. All proceeds benefit First Tee, North Florida. For tickets, go to tasteofgolf.com. Come on, somebody.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise in towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Your Jacksonville Sharks are back and ready to take the field for the 15th anniversary season. The Drive for Five starts Sunday, April 6th as your Sharks take on the Las Vegas Nighthawks. Ask about special ticket pricing for all you sports teams at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. 904-621-0700.
Go Sharks! Prosser here. Sharks football is back. Come celebrate the 15th anniversary season this Sunday, April 6th, as the Sharks take on the Las Vegas Nighthawks in their home opener at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Already 1-0, the Sharks look to crush Vegas on Pirates and Princesses Night. Have some family fun and break out your best pirate hat or tiara.
We're not but humble pirates.
For tickets and special pricing for youth sports teams, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. That's jacksharks.com or 621-0700.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
I'm Tori Edwards with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010XL.
The number 1 seeded Florida men's basketball team is dancing to the Final Four of the NCAA tournament for the 6th time in program history after shocking Texas Tech by 5 in the West Region Championship. The Gators will take on number 1 ranked overall Auburn tomorrow. Catch live coverage at 5:30 on 10:10 a.m. The Florida baseball team is on a 2-game win streak after dominating UNF by 4 runs Tuesday. The Gators slammed a season-high 5 home runs in the win over the Ospreys, led by Bobby Bozer, who drilled a 6-inning grand slam. The Gators will look to extend the streak tonight as they open a 3-game series against number 23 Vanderbilt. Liam Peterson is set to start on the mound with first pitch at 6:30. I'm Tori Edwards with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010 XL. It's 74 degrees at 9 o'clock. Time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I haven't got an official word, but I'm always so closely aligned with the event because Dan and I have been involved with Guns N' Hoses Hall of Famers, for Pete's sake. But I believe the Guns N' Hoses fights this year are not going to go off.
No?
I don't know the reasons for that.
Oh, man.
Exactly. But yeah, it's always this time of year, and I certainly would have been made well aware. We're a part of their promotional vehicle. I know the audience gets a kick out of hearing from the fighters and promoting. It's a fun event here in town. Been going on forever, probably 20 years worth of Guns N' Hoses, maybe even more. We yacht rock you back in here, 9:03 on a Friday. That music is so antithetical to being the 9 o'clock nasty. That sounds nice and wholesome, but Dan has been a bad influence on me, and he's chomping at the bit there for some 9 o'clock nasty. But what I was going to say, they are going to do Guns N' Hoses on ice.
Huh?
Yeah, coming up this weekend. It's a doubleheader where the Icemen are going to take on Savannah. The Savannah, like the Ghosts or Ghost Peppers or Ghost something or others. And then also at the same time, they'll have a Guns N' Hoses hockey game. So, by the way, they need some sponsorship there. You can go search on how to do that. But, yeah, Guns N' Hoses looks like it's going to be relegated to just hockey. And, again, unless somebody contacts and tells me different, I do know that, Dan and I have done those fights, done the play-by-play and color commentary, and did a part of, Guns N' Hoses for years and years and years and years and years. I tell you who right now must be in a funk. Jacko.
Oh, yeah, that's his joint.
That's Jacko's deal, man. Right now, Jacko, last seen, just collapsed into a big pile of ruffled suits. E.T., I know you've picked Duke, I think in part to just kind of fade what Dan and I were going to be doing in the bracket competition. Who would you be rooting for if you weren't in a bracket challenge? Would it be Duke? Yeah. Are you a Duke guy?
Yeah, I'm a Duke guy.
Okay, so you would root for Duke over Florida anyway. This wasn't a total just kind of, opposite current kind of pick.
I'm a Dookie.
So you're going to go Duke. And when did you – does the culture have a Duke-Carolina preference?
It's
about the same?
Yeah, it's split.
Is Duke – because Duke is like a very polarizing program. There's not a lot of middle ground. I'm kind of middling with Duke. I tend to root for those rivalry games. I don't have like a North Carolina or a Duke side that I'm always on.
Okay.
It depends on the personalities of those teams, what they're trying to accomplish. I like certain of those teams that aren't your own team, right? Obviously, you're taking your own team out of it because that, there's never any mixed feelings when it comes to that. But I feel like Duke is just a little more polarizing than North Carolina. It feels like the hate for Duke is a little stronger than the hate for Carolina.
That's absolutely true.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm on the right path there.
That's absolutely true.
It usually manifests like a little bit more when they have a superstar player, but it seems like, as a basketball nation and as a fan base, we're having a hard time finding anything about Cooper Flagg that we don't like.
That boy bad.
Right? And he's just a little Boy Scout, isn't he? I feel like he's selling you girl. He's gonna score 30, then sell you a box of Girl Scout cookies.
He is. And he's a dog, though. He's gonna talk that talk on the court.
He is.
He's doing all of that.
That's my favorite kind of player, those 6'8", 6'9" guys guys who can do it outside, inside, drive the lane. I'm trying to figure out the comp. You know, it's hard, man. It's just inevitably we do it. Don't you see a 6'9" Cooper Flag, and in your mind, you're trying to think of a white guy that plays that way.
Would you say like a KD, maybe?
Yeah, KD's just a little bit, I don't know. He seems more physical than KD. More willing to give up his body.
Cooper going to dunk on you. KD's not really doing that.
I don't, but the hard part with this is the size, you know? I'm trying to think of a guy who kind of plays,
inside and out like that.
He's got like a bit of like a, it's not his, he's kind of got a little LeBron in it. Do you see that?
I like where you're going there, my boy.
At that age, he might be a little taller. He's kind of got, he's going to get bigger and thicker. So, that might be, one of those comps. I don't know. I like these kinds of columns. 17 things to know about this year's Final Four and the people in it, because they go a little bit, I love when I get some information that perhaps I didn't, I wasn't aware of. First things first, let's count the stars at this Final Four with Walter Clayton Jr., Florida's first ever All-American, Chani Broome, first Auburn player to ever be a consensus All-American, and then at the end of the blue blood line, there's Cooper Flag, who's Duke's 25th consensus All-American. Choose sides. We got generation gap battles. We got a Social Security eligible coach against someone who is younger than his son. Kelvin Sampson is 69. He'll take on John Shire, who's 37. Sampson said, I coach against my son Kellen in scrimmages. He's always kicking my butt. I guess I'm used to being beat by younger guys. In Auburn, they have not made as much of this relationship as you would think you would get with the nonstop ad nauseum promotion and focus on the Final Four. And that's the relationship between Todd Golden and Bruce Pearl. Isn't that way undersoldy?
Yeah, it is.
Golden was Pearl's guy for first 10, 11 years of his career.
Pearl put Golden on. Yeah.
He put him on his first as a position, then on his staff, and then Golden went on and coached at San Francisco. He's become Todd Golden's very best friend in the world is Stephen Pearl, Bruce Pearl's son.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Makes sense, though.
And they played in I apologize to our Jewish brethren this morning. The Maccabee games. I always get that wrong. But they played together in that on the basketball side. So Pearl gave Golden one of his first jobs. Todd Golden said this week, I know he's incredibly proud of me. I'm grateful for him and his family, the opportunities they provided for me. I wouldn't be here if I didn't have my relationship and experience working with and being around Bruce and his son, Stephen. It's a full circle moment for both of us. When the ball goes up on Saturday, it's going to be pretty cutthroat. Until then, there'll be a lot of love shown, a real surreal moment for sure. That's pretty cool, huh?
I like that.
At the same time, when you are 60s, like Kelvin Sampson, like Bruce Pearl, which of those two do you think is more likely to get back to the Final Four?
Bruce Pearl.
It's funny you say that. I think it's Sampson in Houston.
Yeah.
He's hit on something there. He's done it now, by the way. Had these incredible years as a top seed in two different conferences. He did it in that AAC. They moved to the Big 12. Big 12 is a basketball league, right? Iowa State, Kansas, those teams that stayed in the Big 12, they may not be much in football.
Yeah, they hoop over there.
So now I will say Kelvin Sampson being 69, that's 4 years older. I feel like Houston has a better chance of being a return, especially the way the SEC is setting up now with all these great teams. Although maybe just makes you tougher. 7 of the Sweet 16, 4 of the Elite 8, and now half of the Final Four. Again, fun with numbers. Auburn, Florida, very rare to have an inter-conference game in the Final Four. It's the first time the SEC has ever done it. It's only happened 11 times with other conferences. The most recent was very recent. Duke, North Carolina in 2022. He's not the best player on Houston. In fact, you may not even remember the name or know the name. You should if you've been watching a lot of the tournament. But Jawan Roberts of Houston,
Yep.
In this age of player migration and transfer portals and NIL, this dude was a Houston Cougar long enough to win. You ready for this? 148 games in his career there.
Oh, shout out.
My man, Jawan Roberts at Houston has gone 148 and 23. Huh? How successful is that for Kelvin Sampson and for Houston? some more little kind of interesting news and notes. You want to know another huge glaring sign for the transfer portal age?
What's that?
Going into this year, only 2 players in the history of college basketball had been in the Final Four with 2 different schools. A guy named Bob Bender did it for Indiana and Duke in the 70s. A guy named Steve Kraftsison did it for North Carolina and Iowa in the late 70s and then again in 80. Okay? If this doesn't tell you what you need to know about the transfer portal, I don't know what does. In the history of college basketball, 2 dudes played in the Final Four for 2 different teams. In this year's Final Four, there are 3 players in that category. Florida's Elijah Martin, who scored 26 points for FAU in their 1-point loss to San Diego State in 2023. Duke reserve Mason Gillis played 48 minutes off the bench for Purdue at last year's Final Four. And Houston's LJ Cryer played 3 minutes for Baylor in their 2021 Final Four. So, the old days of recruiting a player and building a roster and having carryover and continuity, they're gone, man. You better know how to mine that transfer portal.
Bye.
And just this, it's Auburn has put in the work, man. They have put in the tough schedule to have the success this time of year. Obviously, I won't wish it for them on Saturday night. But the Tigers have played 15 games this year against opponents who advanced to the Sweet 16. And in those games, they're 11-4. They played every other team who's in San Antonio, beat Houston by 5, lost to Duke by 6, lost to Florida by 9. Florida's the only other team in history to play all the other Final Four participants during the regular season. I think that was 14. They played Wisconsin that year, Kentucky, obviously, and UConn as they beat them. That team that was the number 1 team in the Ken Palm ratings, I was talking about the 2000 was the 99. So it was the year before Florida beat Auburn in the Sweet 16 that year. So there's just some kind of interesting news and notes and numbers from the Final Four as it's set and situated in San Antonio. If I didn't have this golf tournament ET, I'd be getting on a plane after the show today.
You was going to slide?
100,000,000%. Our best friends live in San Antonio, so we would have gotten on a plane today. We would have taken the equipment. We would have done the show live out there Monday and Tuesday. And but as we talked about at the start of the show, way back in the 6 o'clock hour, so it's only 2 or 3 times a year you get to go competitive, man. Really try and stoke some of those competitive embers, and this is one of those weekends for me. I should be in really, really good shape, though, at the golf tournament today because I have the Momentum Alkaline 9.5 pH ionized water with electrolytes added for taste. Electrolytes, thank you. I saw in the Idiocracy the electrolytes are also good for the crops. You're listening to The Drill. It's GFL Friday. Are we going to see what's trending? Are we going into the Deer Drill letterbox? I mean, I don't know what we're doing, but it's something when we return.
We're going to do something.
The Drill. From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios. We talk about Jacksonville because we love Jacksonville.
I was born a Jags fan and I'm Duval till I die.
1010XL. Duval Sports Radio.
Lauren Brooks here. At Hodges Mazda, they are proud of their solid reputation in the Jacksonville community. As your hometown Mazda dealer, their high customer service standards and their huge inventory of new and used cars provide their customers a consistently first-rate car buying experience. Their professional non-commissioned sales team puts your best interest first without exception. And all new vehicle purchases include the Hodges Mazda Protection Package. Visit them online at HodgesMazda.com or stop in today to learn more and discover the Hodges Mazda difference.
Are you thinking about a pool for your home? Blue Haven Pools is Jacksonville's largest pool builder. They've built pools for over 20,000 satisfied families since 2000. It's never been easier to design the perfect pool for your home, family, and budget. Call Blue Haven Pools today at 904-620-0090 to get a free in-home estimate for your in-ground pool, or visit bluehaven.com. Don't let another summer pass by without a pool. Join thousands of happy Jacksonville pool owners in a Blue Haven pool.
Are you an experienced chiller technician and looking for a role where your skills are truly valued? It's time to make the move to Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. You'll get top pay, comprehensive health and welfare benefits for your family, and a pension that doesn't come out of your pocket. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and $2.95.
What could you do with an extra $75,000 right now, or even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto is the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold hard cash, so you can pay off all your credit cards or start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. There's virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, often no appraisals. Listen, the average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. Use it. One client got $150,000 out and paid off all their credit cards, 2 car loans, and a personal loan, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,500. You can get approved in as little as 1 day, so act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. Get the money you need for anything at 904-999-1508 or just go to LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
During the NFL offseason, 1010XL keeps the information engine turning.
There we go.
More. Roll through the offseason with AA Automotive on Richard Street. Family run since 1954.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
The magical basketball ride continues for Gators fans this weekend, and now you can remember all 34 Gators wins with a full-size Season to Remember basketball for only $149.95, featuring scores of every game along with embossed logos, championship history, and more on panels of the ball. Order now. Get one of only 5,000 licensed balls. Call 800-345-2868, 800-345-2868, or visit nikcosports.com.
What does your dream backyard look like? Hey, it's Joe C. and my friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can design an outdoor kitchen layout custom built to your taste and lifestyle. You dream it, they can build it. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Visit CSSOutdoor.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, we're back here on the drill. Or we're just kind of grinding through maybe some comps for Cooper Flagg. It's hard to come up with the exact one. I think he said somebody had suggested Tracy McGrady. That's not a bad one. McGrady was so thin, though. I feel like I keep wanting to call him Cooper Kupp. I keep thinking Cooper Flagg is going to really kind of fill out. He's going to be more of a LeBron type physique as he ages along LeBron's timeline. And LeBron was built kind of like Cooper Flagg when he was young, when he was first coming out of high school. There wasn't a huge difference. I think Flagg may even be a little bit sturdier than LeBron was at that age. Either way, he seems like going to be a really good player. Anytime you are that skill set, right? How about that skill set? Maybe a little Kawhi in there. He's a little more graceful than Kawhi.
Yeah, more.
But Kawhi's kind of not as graceful. Kind of a real straight up shooter kind of. But that's, to me, the ultimate weapon in the NBA is that guy. I'll give you a good one, Jalen Johnson. I don't know if he's a good enough player yet that everyone knows who he is.
Yeah, he's not good enough.
But he 20 and 10. Is that any good? That's the Hawks guy. Yeah, he just plays for the Hawks. He plays for a crappy team no one's seen, and he was just starting to come into his own these last couple of years, and he got injured. He's missing half of this year. By the way, he's a former Duke guy. Yeah, watch a couple of Jalen Johnson highlights when you get a chance.
Okay.
I think that's a real good one. I think the size, it kind of matches up there, and perhaps the skill set as well. This was a headline that surprised me as I was kind of gatekeeping today and looking through. I was surprised at a headline that now stops the momentum towards what sure seemed like some sort of unification of the golf world. But apparently the PGA Tour has rejected the PIF's recent offer to invest $1.5 billion, Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. Apparently making that offer. Now, the PGA Tour wants one premier circuit operating in men's professional golf, and the PIF wants two. Theirs is called LIV, and LIV is just wasting everyone's time and money until we can get on the right. LIV has been a massive failure it's just, Koepka said it earlier this week. Yeah, this thing hasn't taken off like I thought it would. It hasn't made the impact that I thought it would. It's stale. It's stagnant. They're playing in these outposts and shorts, and people just don't pay attention. And they're at a massive PR spot this week, Live Golf. They're at Doral. I'm sure the president himself will make an appearance. And it will get thrashed to the ratings for some PGA Tour Texas Valero Open. You mark my words. And the Live is a disaster. Every player in it has sacrificed any notoriety for just playing for the more cash. The competition is there. It'll be more. The golf tournament I'm playing this weekend, he is more competitive than a Live event, and that's fact.
No.
Regardless of your skill, not a golfer on Live will face any kind of anxiety or competitive nerves that just you guys will face this weekend. Sources confirming to ESPN, the PGA Tour, though, has rejected the most recent offer to invest $1.5 billion into PGA Tour Enterprises. That's the tour's for-profit entity. The PIF, which has funded Live Golf since 2022, also wants its governor, Yasir Al-Rumayyan, to serve as co-chairman of PGA Tour Enterprises board. So, Live wants to give the money, and rightfully so. If I'm giving you 1.5, I need a voice. If you're going to take my money, what am I giving it to you then? I'm going to buy my way into this. And listen, boys, you haven't figured it out yet? That's how we roll here in Saudi. That's how we roll. Do I need another billion? Somebody fire up the oil derrick. I got it, baby.
Yeah, right. That's what, 31 million? Oh, no, what was it? The billion was the seconds?
Yeah, 1 billion seconds is 31 years. So imagine what $1.5 billion is. And if the Saudis and PIF are giving the PGA Tour $1.5 billion or, 88,000 centuries of seconds, then they're going to want something in return. And you know what? They should. Listen, you can like or dislike Live or follow it or don't. Y'all know where I stand. But, they're just going to do what they're trying to do. Whether you like it or not doesn't have anything to do with their ability or effort to do so. And if you want me to, listen, yeah, I put you in this hole. I did because I'm spending money for no reason. I'm wasting it just to harm you. Oh, well, too bad. If you want some of my money, you're going to have to give me something in return. And apparently, I don't know what it is the PGA Tour thinks they're offering the Saudis for that $1.5 billion, other than a watchable product. The billions they're putting into Live is just wasted. You can just throw it into a kiln. The billions that they put in the PGA Tour will at least will go to good use. But sources are saying that investment fund is dug in its heels in negotiations. They want team golf to be part of the future if the sides reach a deal. Dumb. Hey, Liv, just go away with this team golf garbage. Y'all are so stupid, man. Stop it. Why does Liv think it's discovered team golf? No one likes team golf, dodos. We'll watch team golf in the Ryder Cup. You know why we don't like team golf, E? And I don't know why they don't understand this. I guess they're just too out of touch with just gin pop.
Why is that?
Here's how I know we don't want to watch team golf, because almost everybody who goes play golf today, if you ask them, would you rather play a scramble or play your own ball, 90% want to just play their own doggone golf ball and have fun. You play a tournament, team golf, it's fun to do as an aside, but golf is an individual sport. And so if you want to do your team golf, then make it totally separate and not a part of, and so good, PGA Tour, dig your heels in on that. I don't care if you put somebody on the board. Those things don't, but I don't want to watch team golf. It's dumb. We'll watch it in the Ryder Cup, the President's Cup, maybe. I don't, but other than that, I don't want to watch it at all. There's not any single, and the way the Live does it is so ridiculously stupid that you can't keep up with anyone. Live is a disaster in the way that they're presenting their product. Who knows if they would have ever had a chance, but they got all these all-stars and they're putting in this goofy golf stuff, and it just hasn't registered, and they've made no attempt to make it register. And so they got a high-profile list of guys that are just playing the goofiest, most unwatchable version of golf that there is. From the graphics just flashing all over the screen while you're trying to watch to the ridiculous notion of shotgun starts. Tell me you're a beer league without telling me you're a beer league. Have a shotgun start. What in the hockey sticks? That doesn't build drama and determine a champion and let him grind on his nerves. Let's go have a beer bong and play 18 today, boys.
Oh, dear.
Piff gave us, $1.5 billion. So if I'm the PGA Tour, for us, the fans, just keep your heels dug in on the team golf. And meanwhile, prepare just to have the millions and billions thrown at you. It's work. They're destroying the PGA Tour. The Tour's in trouble. I mean, this just in. I mean, people aren't aware. The Tour is in trouble. Big trouble. The grassroots PGA Tour that was formed and founded here in Jacksonville, Florida, is in big, big trouble. We'll see how it plays out. Does that mean that PGA Tour golf and professional golf on TV is something that could go away? No. I'm saying the PGA Tour, the business, is in big trouble. They're in big trouble, and I would think that probably a lot of it has been generated from this nonstop arsenal of cash that Live has used to break them down as best they could, all for the selfish desires of the narcissist Greg Norman, who now is nowhere to be found. If we could just kind of go back and set line this thing and do what's best for golf and the fans and take all of the egos and hurt feelings out of it, this could work. But at this stage, though, that doesn't seem super possible. Of course, if they need any advice, they know where to get it. Because we here at the drill, or office hours are always open. We started Dear Drill a while back, and some of you Googans out there trying to make your way through life, you get stuck, you need some answers. We try to, maybe today the good mood and the helpful advice will be better, but without Dan here poking and prodding and angering us. So, E, do you have the mailbag?
Hold on, let me see. Let me check that mailbag.
Or should we just come back and do it?
Yeah, let's come back.
He's got to go through the mailbag. I thought he had it in there next to him, but I saw yesterday, I had 6 or 8 of them in there. You people are a mess out there. So we'll do some Dear Drill. We'll turn it over to Jaguars today, and then we're gonna go talk about winning. That's what we're gonna do. You're listening to The Drill, GFL Friday.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Sporting goods for the mind.
One for you, and one for you, and one for you.
Your sports superstore.
Hey, what about Charlie? And one for Charlie.
1010XL.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Man, jack of all trades, masters of none? It just feels like at every turn nowadays, every company can do all work. Not us. Hi, Stevie Beatrice here, second-generation plumber right here in Jacksonville, Florida. We are your master plumbing company that only focuses on all your plumbing needs. So for your next plumbing job, don't call another Jack. Call Beatrice Plumbing, where plumbing is what we do and plumbing is what we're great at. Beatrice Plumbing, here to help.
Hey, certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Why? Experience, expertise, knowledge. That's Reed Wingate. That's Janice Cobb. That's Scott Regner. That's Dan Abel. That's Reagan Wright, Jeff Hartman, Chris Bryan. Those are the ITP Partners, man. You know what they do? They sit down with you individually, listen to you, and then they give you tell them what you want. They give you your strategy to get your goals met. And it's really easy to get in the game with ITP Partners. They're always there to help. For more info, simple. Chris at ITBPartners.com. Chris at ITBPartners.com or call 312-9751. 312-9751. They're ITP Partners, gang. And they're my financial partners for life. Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 4th, 1974, baseball legend Hank Aaron tied Babe Ruth's home run record with 714 by hitting a 3-run homer off Jack Billingham.
Ladies and gentlemen, boaters and landlubbers, friends, four-legged and two, this is Lisa the Botanista with a huge announcement. Freedom Boat Club is opening a brand new 4th location. That's right, Freedom Boat Club St. Augustine Shipyard is now open. Now members can enjoy unlimited access at Julington Creek, Jacksonville Beach, St. Augustine Comanche Cove, and St. Augustine Shipyard. Freedom Boat Club members also enjoy reciprocal access to over 400 locations across the world. There's never been a better time to join. We are offering our biggest discount ever to celebrate our brand new location. We own and maintain an entire fleet of boats. Join the club, and as often as you like, you can do water sports, inshore fishing, offshore fishing, sandbar hopping, dining on the water, or just cruising around town. Visit us at the St. Augustine Shipyard or stop by any of our locations to see what the Boatsiège experience is all about. Visit us at freedomboatclub.com.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and my knee was getting worse, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home this weekend at the newly renovated VyStar Ballpark. Join us tonight for fireworks and tomorrow at 6:35 for more fireworks. Presented by Oaks RV Resort. Catch on the field and free face painting before the game on Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day at 3:05. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable family fun.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
For the greenest, luscious lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
Listen, man. I think it's fair to say that it's now or never for a certain sports team that your boy here, cares about too much. And if we come in here Monday and the Afraids have dropped 2 out of 3 to Miami, I mean, we can do it as a bit or we can do it as reality. The season is over. There's too many good teams in their own division. So if these Jackals think that they can go out and start 1-9, I got serious news for them. People say, well, Houston, they started terrible last year. Yeah, look at their division. I mean, the National League East is brutal. I mean, you got the Mets and the Phillies, both there, position among the top teams in the league. Phillies are 5-1. They won again yesterday. So yeah, I'm just cooling down on any nonsensical rationalization for the Braves, at the very least, not winning 2 out of 3 against the Marlins. So in case you missed it, big bad Braves have started 0-7, which even the pitiful Atlanta legacy has had few starts that poorly, like 6 in franchise history. That's how bad these losers have been. They got the Miami Marlins coming to town, and good for Florida or Miami or the Marlins or whatever we're calling them this year. Good for them. They're off to a 4-3 start. They're feeling good. So go step on some Afraid's throats, Marlins. You go do you. Those 0-7 losers that you're visiting, they don't deserve your respect. You're better than they are. I mean, they're minus 18 in runs. It's second worst in the entire National League. So, yeah, nobody coming to town with any mixed feelings on where the Braves are. I'm sure the message for both Miami and Philly, who come to town next, is bury these losers. It shouldn't be hard. We'll see. Now I'm the one that needs Dear Drill. I need to send off a letter on just how I can wrap my head around the emotionality of sports. But instead, we serve as. So let me decompress here. Every time the Afraids come up, it's like my heart rate goes up and my stress level. I'm just so angry and annoyed with them. So let me get back to my happy place where we've spent most of today's Friday Forum, and so that we can give you the proper good advice that you are searching for when you literally take time to put pen to paper and send us letters. There's actually an email address too. What is it?
DearDrill@1010XL.com.
All right, DearDrill@1010XL.com. If you ever want to do it that way, we'll try our best. But man, y'all get yourself into some situations out there.
Oh boy!
All right, what do we got?
Let me get this right. Hold on. Dear Drill, my boyfriend and I have dated for 7 months.
Okay.
We have a good relationship in terms of compatibility. We are both Christian and educated, and we have a good profession. We have fun. We have a fun-loving relationship, and both of us invest in travel. He enjoys my company and says I'm a good girl, and I have all the qualities that he's always wanted. But I do have one issue. He stays in close contact with his former on and off ex-girlfriend for 10 years. When I asked him about it, he said he cares about other people and he likes keeping other people happy. For example, last year when he was single, he wanted to take his long-term ex-girlfriend out for a day trip, dinner, and a musical, so she could, hold on. So she could get away from her apartment. Her daughter and grandkids, who were living with her at the time, made her life very tough. My boyfriend and this ex also text each other often, and I'm uneasy with it. How should I feel?
Man, listen, lady, I appreciate your being as patient as you are. It's weak, man. Your dude needs attention from other people. If it's not your boyfriend, if he's going on dates with someone else, that could be someone you're dating. But I mean, it sounds like you have a real tie to this guy's. This guy's a piece of work, if you ask me. He's a look at me guy, Mr. Helpful, Mr. Nice Guy, and you love him for all those good reasons. But let me tell you one person he doesn't care about. He doesn't show any care or consideration on. That's you. That's what he does to you when he sits on the phone texting with his ex-girlfriend. No, weak sauce, baby. Weak sauce. So the question though is, what do you do? I don't know, man. I don't know what your own self-worth is to you. And again, I don't say this necessarily negatively, but if you're willing to be with this guy, you're not his, the sun don't rise and fall with you. You're not his main source of fulfillment. You're just another of you're just another of the number of people in his life that have an impact on him one way or the other. So Yeah, if you're in a committed romantic relationship with another man, you're not a prude for not wanting him constantly engaged with his ex. So when are you? It depends on what he's worth to you. You're going to have to swallow some pride and let him be the narcissist that he is while telling you what a great Christian and how much he cares about people. I wouldn't be surprised at all if there's not more to this out of your Jolly Roger than what he's told you and what you see. E?
Girl. Jeff, first of all, Jeff, I'm proud of you.
I did it nicely.
That is solid.
That was good advice, wasn't it? That's what I tried to do. Instead of just screaming at her and this, I tried to help her there. I realized driving home from last week's deer drill that I'm not much help at all. You're calling in with these problems, and I'm just telling you what an idiot you are.
Oh, well, this fellow from the West Side definitely needs your help.
Okay.
Oh,
See
boy.
what oh, gosh.
Oh,
West Side?
boy.
West Side.
I'm in a sexless 25-year marriage.
Sexless, did you say?
Sexless.
Yeah, okay, we can end this real quick. You need to move along, my boy. Yeah. Sexless and marriage shouldn't go together. And if you are in either one of, if you're in both of those, then one of those exists. There's no such thing as a sexless marriage. Yeah, take whoever on off to some counseling or to divorce court right now. Because I just got news for everyone out there. Ladies, you want to know the big secret? It's the one thing that we expect out of our marriage. If we're willing to, and again, that's the thing that goes girl to boy. I don't mean this to be from the sexist perspective, but it's the best thing about marriage is free sex. It is. And we got friends, we got other things, we got people that can fill our time. I mean, it is. It's the best thing about marriage. It's, I'm willing to be your one and only, but I better have it early and often.
Listen.
Right? And by the way, this isn't always the girl came from the guy. I got even guy friends. These losers won't have sex with their wives. What are y'all doing? Am I wrong? Anyway, I don't know where it goes from there. But okay, if you're in a 25-year sexless relationship, I don't know. Sex doesn't matter to you, boss. Just keep riding it out. I mean, if this was a problem, maybe we shouldn't have waited 25 years. It's going to be kind of hard for the counselor to draw some sort of romantic stimuli out of your partner. It's been 25 years, man. Good griefy.
Listen.
I don't want to see that dude's browser history. Let me tell you that. Keep me off that browser history.
You know when she gives you that honey-do list, honey, I need you to do this. Honey, I need you to fix it. Yes, ma'am.
I feel for these, you know what, and I do believe this too. Right? We're going to get serious here for a second, relatively. If you're in a sexless marriage, it's time to get, whoever is not giving the sex, something has happened to this person in their life. Understand that. If you're a dude and you're married and your wife and she just hates sex, and then because something bad has happened to her that she either has dealt with or hasn't dealt with, and I believe that. I mean, it's the one thing God gave us that's free and beautiful. I mean, what are we doing? Yeah, sexless and 25 years of marriage cannot be in the same sentence ever. Just saying.
No, you're speaking facts. You've been preaching all day, Jeffrey.
Okay, all right, okay. It's not really free, though. My man Ron Compton is texting me. Whatever. Yes, it is. Stop that. Y'all are a team, man. We got to stop getting married if we're not in it to win it with each other.
I'm trying to tell you.
Right? I mean, if you're getting married, no, man. Don't be dogging your wife or your husband. Y'all are a team.
Team.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, when she gives you that honey, I need you to fix it. Honey, I need you to take out the trash. Honey, I need you to change the oil. All right, cool.
It's hard enough screwing up your own stuff. Don't screw up y'all's stuff.
Right. So, honey, all this honey. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Tonight, I better get some honey.
Yeah, that's fine. But you got, there ain't nothing that a damn radio show can tell you, my man. You got to go to some sort of counseling. You got to Baker Act this one. You got something, man. But again, if your wife ain't giving you sex in 25 years, sex ain't important to her, and sex should be important to us all because it's nice and it's free.
Lord have mercy.
So there's something going on, mate. If you don't like sex, there's something wrong with you, man. Or something has happened to you. I mean, is Captain Obvious flown into the studio here? Is this like suddenly taboo to talk about? What are we talking about? No.
They needed our
It's the biggest benefit of marriage, free sex.
They needed our advice.
Friday Forum is a one and done. Management has killed the bit. So now here comes all the
Text line about to go crazy.
Yeah, here they come. Here they come. I don't know. Sexless 25-year marriage. And that's another one. He's giving a cheers. What are y'all doing, man? Y'all don't do that. It's 25 years now, though, I guess. What the hell? Just ride it out now at this point.
Right.
I hope you're getting something for it. By the way, here's another one. Thanks to the Momentum Alkaline pH-infused ionized electrolyte added for taste water from the text line. There's no reason to add high pH water to a stomach that's supposed to be at a low pH. Okay, thank you. I figured. I can't wait for my water. Now, you know what the water I'm going to look for next time I go? I'll probably find it. They'll make this claim. Try our water. New with healing power.
That's going to fly off the shelves.
Yeah, I don't know. Like somebody on the text said she's good at some other dude. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think you go 25 years without having sex unless there's some sort of hang up. That's a long time. Long time. Anyway, E, play me.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Yeah.
Michael?
What did I walk into here?
Just the end of Deer Drill. You just got, yeah. You walked into some life lessons and truisms.
Wish I'd gotten those at an earlier stage.
That's why we're doing it. That's what we're doing. Trying to catch them young, Mikey, when they get to the points that we are. All right, what you got going coming up this weekend now? Inside of 3 weeks? I asked E.T. this.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a reality check on where we are because you want to build Roman today for sure. If I ask you today to make your NFL predictions for 2025, to put down the division winners, the playoffs, and the Super Bowl, and then I ask you again August 15th, do you think it's going to look much different?
It might. It depends. Injuries, obviously, how teams handle the draft.
That would be bigger, probably.
Like
I guess the point is, there aren't many teams whose rookie class is going to mean 2 or 3 more wins. They'll be a part of a team getting better and winning, but to expect, I guess, Jaguar fan, to expect that the rookie class will suddenly be a 5-game difference for a Jaguars team that won 4 games.
I hear what you're saying. We don't know what kind of impact the new coaching staff's going to have, but that's already baked in. They're already here. So I know what you're saying. Is anything going to change between now and then? Maybe, maybe not. If I were to pick right now, I'd probably say Houston's going to win the NFC South.
And they don't. And
they're the safest bet.
Yeah, and the good news is that they're not real scary. You can make up some ground on them.
The Jags should be in contention for the division.
I guess my point was, we're talking more philosophically about what's happened all off season and hearing what Gladstone and Cohen and Baselli have said. It's all about floor raising, and so that has happened to this point. But that ceiling raising is not going to happen with this draft class, not right away. So the point being, as you look at everything they've done, you only improve in the NFL as an established team, but really 2 ways, like immediately. Retained roster and free agency. It's fair. Now, occasionally a rookie will come in and he'll be that difference maker for a team that will change things. And those rookie classes become the retained roster. That's where their importance comes. But as for the quick fix, it doesn't often come from a draft class.
But I don't think that's the only way you improve it. I mean, obviously, we're hoping this coaching staff gets much better performance out of Trevor Lawrence, for instance. Fair. And the Jags lost so many one-score games. If you split those games that you lost, that could be your improvement right there. Even if you don't add a bunch of other wins, you could double your win total just winning half of your one-score losses that you had last year. So, some situational masters. That's what Liam Cohen wants us to believe they're going to be. And if they are, then maybe they'll turn it around in the one-score department.
Yeah. All right. Well, what you guys got coming up today?
McManus in today. We'll talk about what if the usual suspects plus Mason Graham are off the board when the Jags pick.
Oh.
What's the plan?
Okay.
Then, because he seems like,
abort.
Worst case scenario, Mason Graham at 5, right?
Yeah.
Or the safe pick.
You are accurate about that. What do you do if they're?
I don't think it's that out of the realm of possibility. Carter, Hunter, and Graham could be the 3 players. If Graham is, everyone's got him as the top 5 player. Why couldn't he go in the top 4?
And by the way, and at the same time, there is also, if you could get that second quarterback to go, there's a school of thought out there that the Patriots wouldn't shock the world if they went Campbell or Mimbo.
No.
And then one of those other 2 is suddenly.
You see MJD's mock today?
No.
Yeah, it was all set up for the Jags.
He'll do that sometimes.
Well, that's what I thought. As he had Shedeur Sanders going to the Giants, he had Abdul Carter going to the Browns. He did have the Patriots taking an offensive lineman. So the Jags are ready to turn the card in. Let's get that pass catching at McMillan. With Hunter on the board.
Yeah, no way.
Oh,
I love Mojo. His columns and predictions are terrible. They always are.
Well, his mock draft.
I'm not wrong, E?
You're not.
They're just terrible, his rankings and his stuff. And I like watching him and listening to him, but yeah, it's just.
I hear you.
All right, well, Jaguars today is coming up
It
next.
is.
Y'all have a great weekend. Go Gators.
Play-by-play sports just sounds better on radio. For high school, college, and pro sports play-by-play, turn on 1010XL.